Yes!
All right, hello everyone. We are here for the Trinity Survivor past and present cast assessment, and we've got a fucking lot of people here this time. So, joining us once again from last season's assessment, we have myself, obviously the host. We have Keaton, part of production, and we have Connor. And then joining us for this season, we have Grace, who
Hey!
was supposed to be on last season's, but due to unfortunate scheduling, didn't work out. And then we have two of last season's finalists, Z, the king of Deception Island, Kevin. All right. Well, the jury disagrees. The jury disagrees. Okay, I guess the winner and the player of the season.
The winner and the player of the season, Kevin.
Now, before we start fighting because reasons, we're going to jump right in because we have a lot of people to discuss and a lot of people to discuss those people. That is a sentence.
Yeet!
Not a very good one.
So we're going to go in cast reveal order, and we're going to start with Caleb Reed. So whoever wants to jump in on Caleb Reed, go right ahead.
No. Like, well, I'm sorry. I don't exactly care for Caleb Reed personally. That's just me as a person. I think they'll be a fine player, but I only know them based off of 1984, and what I got out of there is a little wishy-washy to me personally. Like, sure, they did good in that game, but I don't think that's going to translate over amazingly to Survivor in my mind. I think that they will try to be too social of a player, and people will start to realize that and take the first shot that they'll be able to take. If Caleb makes it to merge, I think they have a real good chance of making it to the end, but it's going to be hard for them to make merge in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a few small social interactions with Caleb. He seems friendly enough on a, fairly low-key level. Watching him in the season of 1984 he won, he seemed to be reasonably social. He seemed to be pretty good at comps. I think, as Keaton says, unfortunately, that doesn't necessarily translate well across to Survivor, and you never want to be one of the best at comps, and you never want to be one of the most social. You just want to sort of simmer below the sort of the biggest targets. I noticed that when he played Surviving 1984, he ended up getting the chop pretty quickly, which kind of makes me think that could be a pattern. That said, that was their first Survivor game. Maybe they stayed in just about long enough to pick up some things from that. I'd be surprised if they go as early as they did in that game, but I don't think I see them as a serious threat for the title. I'd say probably late pre-merge, but obviously it's hard to predict because you don't know who's going to be doing the winning. If he's on a winning tribe, then maybe he could go far. But I'm not viewing him as one of the potential winners.
I mean, with this twist, it could really affect things in general. So, for those of you who aren't caught up yet, we are bringing back the Tribes of the Future twist from Twilight Town, which directed over a lot of people and resulted in a 9-7 tribe swap because I'm an asshole. So, Caleb Reed is, in my opinion, I think his game is more suited to Big Brother because I've played with him multiple times now across both formats, and I do think his game suits him better in Big Brother. But then again, I also think I said that about both Kevin and Z last season, and look where that went. So, Caleb's really hit or miss because I've seen him do really well. I mean, obviously, he's won 1984, so that's not nothing. But at the same time, he's also gotten 15th and 18th in 1984. So I do think his gameplay is more suited to a Big Brother style game. I'm going to have to go with what Z said and say like late pre-merge maybe. If he makes merge, I think he could go all the way. I don't know if he's going to win, but I don't even know if he's going to make merge. I would like to be surprised, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
I'm going to butt back in real quick. I'm writing down every placement as we go through, and I'm putting Caleb as around 14th.
I'm going to struggle to give numbers just on the basis that it's more of a lottery because you don't know where the tribes are going. I feel in Big Brother it's easier to predict numerically.
Oh yeah, no, I agree, but it's funnier this way to see that I just guessed 20 wrong numbers.
Okay. We also don't know what number the merge comes at. So
I don't even know. Julian should certainly fucking does, but I
because
don't.
if I'm saying late pre-merge, that could be anywhere between like 10 and 15.
Yeah, for Caleb, I agree with Julian. He is a hit or miss when it comes to games because he did win 1984, but he also got out like 18. He was third boot in surviving 1984, and then he got out early in season 2. Well, he got out early in season 2 of 1984 because he was fucked over by someone else who happens to be in this cast here. And we'll get who happens to be in this cast here. So that's why he got out. But I will say another thing I think that kind of screwed Caleb over, and I think he kind of has the appear compared to like I think he has an advantage here compared to like surviving 1984. I think I'm not sure, Julian, you can back this up or whatever, but I'm pretty sure is surviving. He was taken out because of Megan and Drew being in the game, and there's so many pregame connections. And in this cast, I don't see Caleb. Like Caleb doesn't have any. To me, I think like he's close with Chris, and that's it in this cast. Like that's all. So I think if he lays low, kind of like what he did in season 4 of 1984, because I noticed it, he laid low and he didn't win any like the first few competitions, and he worked on his social bonds. I think if he does that, and he just stays in everyone's good trusting, then I think he could do decently well. But I kind of feel the same situation here. He's gonna be late pre-merge or he's gonna be an early merge boot. One of those. But I hope he does well because I'm in his pod chat and I need to troll him longer.
So while Keaton does his thing of placement, every time we do an assessment, I'm gonna write a word representing the person. And the word I wrote representing Caleb is normal. In my opinion, with this math, normality will always prevail. If you're normal enough, you will always at least make it at least 6 rounds, is my theory that I've come to. I'm Einstein, bitches. But on a serious note, like, I do think normality wins. Like, if you're normal enough, you're going to get by. You're not going to be a weirdo. You're going to be able to float by. The question is, what can you do to build off that normality? I see him getting late pre-merge just based on the history I'll mention, but it would also not surprise me to see him in also kind of later in the game as well.
I will say another thing too about him, the fact that Jay is in this cast, and I will say I was on call with Caleb earlier today, and he mentioned, that's how I brought up Chris, like they're on the same tribe and so they'll link up together, but he mentioned something, he's like, I want Jay out of this game and I want Kyle out of this game because him and Jay must not have had a good 1984 history, and Kyle is the reason why Caleb got out in season 2. Because Kyle quit and like fucked everything over for him.
I don't really know too much of Jesus Christ. There's like 7 people on my Animal Crossing island right now.
Oh my God, I need your friend code so we can visit you.
But I don't really know Caleb too much. So wait, is this his first Survivor game?
No.
Okay.
He played Survivor in 1984.
And he was third boot next to myself.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I think I agree with Connor. Seems normal. The one word I had for him for his video was good. So yeah, I don't know. I think I guess I'll agree with that, like late pre-merge, potentially early merge. Yeah.
I feel like just because nobody else will necessarily be picking up on it, that I just want to recognise that Connor is directly stealing Nick's notes.
What you talking about?
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, who's Nick?
Nick Jonas.
Jonas.
You know
Oh, wait, no,
exactly what
Z,
I'm talking
Z, I
about,
see it.
Connor.
Z,
Oh,
Z,
you're
I see
right.
it. I see
You're
it.
right.
I see it.
I do. That's funny. I agree.
Why are you
He
being
has
the child
everything, I
and
see
I'm the
it.
one in the Mickey Mouse clubhouse?
All right, we've gotten to a one-person so
Get into
far.
the
Good
voice.
week.
Get into the voice.
Look at that. We love it. But yeah. And what else? I don't think I have anything else. Just the fact that I
Julian,
know
you're
what
muted.
I
Stop
know
trying
what
to
some of
talk.
Caleb's plans are since not only I'm in his pod chat, but I was also on a call with him and Michael earlier. We were talking about it, everything.
All right, we made it through one person. Good week. So next up is Kyle Reds Canto.
So I'll go first. The way I describe Kyle's intro video in his game, good and legal. So, I like Kyle. Kyle's a pretty decent player. So I'm looking forward to him playing. I feel I would be surprised if he's going to go in the pre-merge. I don't know. He seems low-key enough to where he'll be just fine and won't cause that much drama, especially with a couple, like, I don't know. When you have someone like Arthur in the
We're not
game,
there yet.
I know, but I already can't help but to shit on him.
We're not there yet.
I feel like Kyle will be low-key enough to where he's just gonna skirt on by.
So
I'll go.
So with Kyle, I have to bring up the something that's going to be a recurring theme throughout this cast assessment, and that's manpower.
Oh yeah.
There are 6 members of manpower in this 20-person cast. That's a significant amount of people to address it, because they've already been they basically, the second the cast is being revealed, they were already like, yo, manpower. And the fact that 4 of them are on one tribe and Kyle's on that tribe where 4 of them are together, if it doesn't get revealed, I think all of them will do fine, and Kyle in particular, because I don't think he'd be associated with those people. I don't like the other people other than that tribe. I don't think he'd be super associated with them as a whole. I think he
wanna
could integrate
interject.
himself with fuck me, I guess.
So
Here we go.
So Kyle has been in his production chat talking about how he actually wants to take out manpower.
Oh.
See, you have to understand, I haven't read his chat because there's 150 fucking messages. I'm good.
I mean, that's not the point that I thought that Julian was necessarily going to make, because I have 3 points, one of my own, and then 2 shitting on what the 2 people who've already spoken are saying. First of all, my only real note on Kyle is that he looks like a Moomin. Look at the Moomins. He looks like a Moomin.
You're not wrong.
Anyway, first of all, he is a good group game player, but like, you tend to kind of have a feeling on whose games will reflect group games to orgs and whose won't, and sometimes people's games improve. Kyle's pretty awkward, and like, he's great. You know, I'm not saying it to bash him, but he is an awkward person, and I just will probably not suit him as well as written ones. So actually, I kind of can see him going pretty early, especially because I think that as this is his first org, he's pretty likely to maybe. Also, you know, even before Julian sort of pointed out this 6-strong manpower contingent. I mean, I just see that being like every game's apparent galore contingent. It never worked. Ever.
Oh no.
I mean, but here's the
Absolutely
thing. It's going to be. It's not going to be. It's going to be to Kyle's benefit, though, regardless if it works or doesn't. Because I don't think they're going to be super associated with it, regardless. I think they're one of the people that can get away with it no matter what happens. And to kind of interject on the awkward thing, that could also be to Kyle's advantage, because a lot of these people are well spoken in this cast. They know how to use their words properly. If he doesn't, that might actually be to his benefit if he uses it to his advantage and understands that people are going to perceive him that way. Do I think he's going to do that? I don't think he's that meta. No. But if he does, I would love it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I see him as a pretty early boot, to be honest.
So Connor's word for Kyle, and there's an explanation. So let me explain before you go crazy. Is dummy. He needs to make sure that he doesn't be a dummy. If you have a 6-person group and your first instinct is to turn on them, that would be being a dummy. He needs to make sure he doesn't be a dummy. I'm not calling him a dummy, but if you do dummy things, I'm going to call you a dummy.
Question. How many people in Manpower are on his starting tribe? Oh, Jesus Christ.
So
Um,
if he's going to turn on them immediately, everyone say it with me. He would be a dummy. So he has to make sure that he's not going to be a dummy. Listen, some things are just that simple. If you have to really try to make it work. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But don't let your first instincts be down with Manpower. You have to
Okay,
at least
Brian.
try. Feed the fire, see what happens. If you I didn't hear nothing. If you have to leave, you have to leave. I get that aspect. But at least don't go in there and be like, I have to destroy my one and only pre-game relationship.
Okay, Brian. That's literally all I got to say to that.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
Brian,
god. So
don't
wait,
get me
no,
started
Kyle.
on him.
Wait, I didn't do Kyle.
I'm just, my point
So
is like,
Kyle, okay.
1 + 1 = 2. Don't try to make it 3.
So I'm a little
Alright, so
concerned
my
for
opinion
Kyle
of-
because. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. Actually, Julian, you can go first because I actually want to go. Actually, I want to go last for everyone because I want to see what everyone thinks and see if I can and I can try. Okay. It's and I can fill it out.
Can you
Right, fine. You
stop
can go.
calling me, people? This is the 3rd call I've gotten during this assessment. So I'm a little concerned for Kyle because, again, he does want to turn on Manpower. Like, he doesn't want to go Manpower strong. Like, 6 of you. And I mean, it's like, I fucking remember who said it. I think it was Z. I want to say it was Z. Maybe it was Keaton. But, like, this is just going to be this version of Galore. It's going to be this version's game of Galore. They try to work together. They try to stick together. And then one person says, you know what? Fuck this. And then all of them go home. And then they're like, well, why did we fail? Next time. And I don't see any of them doing well, but I honestly think that Kyle could be the one who benefits the most. Because, like, if he's actually making the relationships on the other side to keep himself safe while he murders Manpower his best chance of actually going far, then hey, you know, power to him. I think he's going to make merge, maybe, but not deep merge.
I see him being one of the first 4 boots.
Okay, so Kyle, I honestly feel so everyone in Manpower it's in this game. It's Kyle, Billy, Nathan, and who's the 4th person?
Logan. Power.
Oh, okay, then he's not relevant in there. So anyways,
This is the most weird group of misfits I've
I
ever
mean, to be
seen.
fair, Z isn't in there, so Z can't talk.
Is he not in Manpower?
because he
yeah,
got heated last night because of things.
Who else
And
is
then
in
I
manpower?
got added back, and then I left again because I don't want to be.
Z isn't a
Honestly-
part of manpower, guys. He's a part of
Chris.
manpower.
honestly, I feel. Oh yeah, Chris is in there. Okay, I think he is. Okay, so honestly, I feel out of the manpower group that Kyle is he's going to do the best out of all of them. I think because the difference between like Kyle and Nathan and Billy is that Kyle is he is so freaking, because I played with him before and I know how he works. He is so freaking smart. He is really smart, and he is so smart to where he knows how to strategically get by in a game, and he knows what he's doing. And I feel that if he uses the smartness and the strategic levels that he has, I think that he can, and it calms it down, because I kind of do have a fear for him, and that he's gonna overplay strategically, and people aren't going to trust him at that point. I hope he kind of lays back and he works more on his social connections and then works strategically with them, but I'm not sure. But I feel if he has that strategic mindset, and if he wants to do well and wants to be the strategic god or whatever he wants to be, I think he will pick up that he can get very sociable with people. I think he'll figure out, okay, I need to talk to this person, I need to say this to this person. I think he can do it. But I do agree with the awkwardness that one of you guys stated. I think it was Z or something that stated it earlier about that. I do agree that can also be another downfall for him. But I think if he thinks and uses his head and he lays his strategic side low enough, I think he can do. I think he's not going to go anywhere for a bit. But I'm feeling to say I think he's going to be another early merge for me, just based on, because I think this is different from like a group game, and these people are like, the difference is that group game players are not like it's like not as easy to catch on to stuff, but with Kyle here, it's going to be so much easier to catch on to it. So I think he's going to be an early merge, and people are going to realize the kind of game he's playing. But I think he has that advantage over like Billy and Nathan, who are not as like, they don't think as much with strategically. I think he just has that. And plus those two are returnees, and they already have people in this cast that already know their reputation. Some people may not know Kyle, so I think he's gonna do the best out of manpower. And Kyle also comes off to me, if he's smart enough, he will like turn on him.
This simp is fucked.
Oh my god.
Okay, so we're going to move on to Josh R. Sargent.
I mean, I'll cut in just on the basis that I don't really know him that well. Like, we've had limited social interactions. I've never played with him. I have kind of followed a couple of group games he's been in. He looks like a competent player. Again, watching his video, I didn't necessarily get the impression that if he wasn't, like, I didn't get the impression that he wasn't like an org regular, and I kind of felt that, again, maybe there would be a degree of awkwardness that wouldn't translate itself so well across to like audio-visual stuff. But from what I've seen, he is a very competent player. So, like, my complete gut feeling based on very little would be early merge.
I will say that Sargent is very eager for this game. They've been excited for a while, and they're going in trying to just make the bonds that they can early on. So I'm excited to see I think Sargent's going to go to merge. I feel confident in saying that. I don't know how far into merge per se, but I think they will have the social ability to make it at least that far. That being said, when this is your first experience in an org, especially with people who, yeah, they might have gone early, but at least they have experience. It's gonna be a little harder, especially when you have newbies like Caleb, and who the fuck else is it? And Bodie that we can get to later. Bodie's had plenty of experience in shit like this. So like it's good. Like the people that are doing this for the first time are going to have a rough time, I think, because other people are way more versed in this style of play as opposed to group games, and that might hurt Sargent, but I think they're going to adjust just fine.
So, my word for Sergeant or Josh is oatmeal. I'm gonna explain. I feel like a lot of people overlook oatmeal. People are gonna overlook him in this game. Oatmeal, if you look at it like it should be looked at as like a great food, it's very, very powerful. It's very, very nutritious, and it's very, very, very dangerous if you eat too much. It's between being cream of wheat and being oatmeal. Being cream of wheat is like boring and you're just, why are you here? Being oatmeal is kind of the same, but you got the extra punch. You know what I mean? You got the extra pow. And I honestly believe that oatmeal is going to go very, very far. He's going to be overlooked, but he's going to be able to play the game very, very, very well. I'm predicting at least, I'm going to say top 5.
So I don't know too much about Josh. My only interaction with Josh has really been on the LKB Iraq like cast assessments last like draft. But I did talk to Livingston about him, and Livingston said he's very excited to watch Josh play. His intro video seemed pretty good, and from all the talks I've had with him, he seems pretty social. And I mean, you know, he did win group games, and I always think if you have some success in group games, if you're a sociable person, it's so easy to translate that, at least in my view. So I see him going far. I don't know how far, but I think almost a lock for merge unless he gets swap fucked.
Well, you remember the twist? He can plan for swap fucked.
Yeah, well, yeah. So like, really, I don't foresee him going pre-merge unless just he gets a really unlucky week or something.
So I've hosted Josh a few times. He took part in my second All-Star season in my group game. The thing Josh has going for him is that he's a very easy person to get along with. He's just got that like positive energy going on. He's very likable, just in his interactions and stuff. As far as actual gameplay goes, he does make some very questionable decisions at times, and it does tend to cost him the game. Now, he has won a few games before, so he does have the killer instinct when he's like in the mood for it. When he really wants something, he'll go for it. But it's not like a consistent thing for him. I don't know how to phrase what I'm trying to say here. But I don't know if he's going to win this game. I think he's going to go far. I think he's going to make, like, top 5, top 6, maybe. He's going to make the end game, but he's not going to be sitting in the end of the game, if that makes sense. I like Josh. I've enjoyed hosting him the several times that I have, and I'm looking forward to hosting him again here.
Okay. I think that with Josh, I think from what I've not like never played a group game like close with him. He's hosted me before with him and Jackson. He's hosted me, and but I've never like actually played with him. So I just gotta. I think from what I see in maybe
Well, thank you, Cameron, for making a guest appearance.
Okay, good. I thought that was me doing that.
No.
Grace, your internet is garbage. Like, we understood the beginning, kind of, and then it just got progressively worse, and then we're just at Cameron status,
Yeah.
where it's completely unrecognizable.
I don't know what did you guys do? What is the last thing you guys
I don't remember.
heard?
We were laughing at you.
Cameron.
Oh my god. Okay, so I'll just briefly review what I just did, what I said. So I think he's gonna go really far because from what I've seen in the group game histories and everything, even though I've never played with him or know him too well, he always does really well. I rarely see him out early in these group games. So I think if he can play similar and he can take that energy into this game, that could work for him. And also, I went on the cast assessment call, or no, it was I'm getting this up, but whatever. It was the LKB call. And he was so sweet, and I absolutely enjoyed talking to him. And if he has this really positive vibe to him, I think that's going to benefit him very strongly in an org. If this is his first org, which I'm assuming it is, I think that's going to be a very good thing for him, because from experience, I know that the really positive people, they are always the ones who they just attract so many people to them, and they are like just trusted so easily. So I think if people view him that way and people come to him, he's solid. He's solid. Like, no one, I don't see anybody, we need to take Josh out or whatever. I kind of see people more like, I want to work with Josh. I trust Josh. I feel good about Josh. I think that's going to keep him in the chance to do really well in this game. But yeah, I see him go. I see him doing well.
All right, so Keaton, I think this one's on you. We're moving on to Bodie.
Bodie! Okay, so it's really myself and Julian who have the most to be able to say about Bodie, because, and honestly, when Bodie applied, the two of us were fucking confused, because we have not heard from that man for months. All of a sudden, he applies to this game of all things. Sure, I fucking loved it, because the dude's a character. The dude, he's very dry in his comedy. He's very sociable. People like to compare myself and him quite a bit, especially in our look. So I'm very happy that Bodie's playing this game, and I think Bodie's gonna do fucking great. I think they'll get to the finale part, like Final Six, pretty soundly, as long as they just play their game the way they do it. Especially having no prior connections to anyone in this game except maybe like one or two people, because apparently a non-zero amount of people know him. So I'm really happy that he's in this game. I'm really happy that he's gonna fucking get far, because he will. And no, I'm just excited. Like, I get to see my doppelganger do doppelganger things.
He's a pretty big name in the Tumblr side of things, from what I've been made aware of, and he's not a bad player. But the thing that really drew me to him is his personality. He is very entertaining to me, and like, I fucking love dry humor, and he's just been serving it up to us in his production chat, and since he got added to the tribe chats, and people are kind of warming up to him, even though his intro video was not the kind of thing that he should have done.
His intro video got a lot of critique from the entire cast and from viewers. That was a universally what the fuck moment.
His intro video was a big misstep, a really, really big misstep, but I do think he's kind of recovering nicely on his tribe. Like, he's slowly warming up to them from the looks of things, and I do think he can turn that perception around into a positive for him. So I can see him going far. Will he win? I don't know. That's yet to be determined. I think he's never done better than like 5th in an org from what I've been told. So who knows? Maybe this will be the time he breaks that. Maybe he'll get another 5th.
Okay. So as previously stated, most of us don't know who this guy is, so we only have to go based on like the video we saw. And so strictly based on the video I saw, I wrote 2 words this time. Pineapple pizza. Pineapple pizza is such a hit or miss thing. You either love it and you're like, you will go to bat for it and you will wear t-shirts and you will, strip naked for it, or you will literally burn it to a crisp, like, I hate it. And based on his intro video, I see that being exactly what's happening with Brody. He's either going to be liked and people are going to want to strip for him like they do for pineapple pizza, or people are going to absolutely hate him and just really just find him disgusting and be like, no. So I definitely see it being one way or the other. I don't know which one, which is why I wrote pineapple pizza, because we all have our own opinions. But we'll see.
Who the fuck let Connor in this cast assessment?
So obviously I don't know Bodie because I'm not really familiar with like the non-10 gaugers, so I only have his intro video to base on like my initial reaction. The fuck. I mean, if he's already repairing the misstep in his tribe chat, then that's important, but I don't really have much to go on. I hope that he is significantly different throughout the season. But yeah, that intro video, man, that was something.
And yet it wasn't the worst. What the
Oh,
hell?
no, God, no. I cannot wait to talk about that person.
Do we have Grace? Do we have Z?
Well,
We
apparently
have-
we're doing
Have you-
hats now.
Had to use the restroom.
All right, we have Grace and Z again. Welcome back.
So, for me, I, for once, I actually understood what Connor was getting at with his weird little whiteboard. I do completely agree that that is the kind of personality that's going to be very love or hate. Personally, I found his intro video hilarious. Like, it was the only one that got an audible laugh out of me. Like, I just...
This is
I
why
found
you
it
lost.
so funny.
No.
It's not playing anymore. Fuck off, all
No,
of you.
that was the last
dead.
one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I think the thing with characters like that is, I do agree with Connor. They will either go far or they'll get cut really early. I think, I mean, yeah, it's very much Keaton syndrome. I don't know. Maybe I'm biased because I found it funny, and obviously I found it funnier than a lot of people did. But to me, I kind of look at that sort of person as someone I'd happily work with. So I'm going like mid-merge. I don't think they'll make the absolute end, but I could see them coming somewhere like 6th, 7th.
No, or sorry.
Okay, so you good. So I'm actually on the same as Z. His video, when I saw his video, the ASMR just had me rolling. It was so funny. I'm like, I love this. Oh, Kevin, I just saw the coronavirus ASMR. That was so funny though. I'm like, this is a king right here. I stand him. I'm so here for him. But I don't know him very well, and I could just tell from the comments, like on 10 Gauge, like some people were like, "What in the world is this dude doing?" And so if I'm seeing that, maybe other people will have that same perception going into the game. Like, this dude's crazy. I don't think I would associate myself with that. So yeah, the pineapple pizza thing, I see it playing here. And if he seems to be getting along with his tribe already, then that could be a good thing. So that could be a good thing because that way he's not completely hated by this cast and he can grow his relationships with people and that could work out in his favor. But yeah, I think he just has, to me, he just has a sense of humor there. And I think with that, he can get socially, he can put himself in a really good position, I feel. So if I had to predict, I don't think he's going to make finals, but maybe I see him around fifth to seventh place.
Also, it might help him that, you know, if really his big critique is his intro video, like someone else already said, it wasn't the worst by a long shot.
Which is the
him and someone else's video him and two other people video just cracked me up. I think the other person who cracked me, I think they're next, and then the other one is towards the end of the newbies. But oh my god, his video was so funny though. I was like, I'm standing and living for this ASMR. This is so funny.
I think one thing that nobody has touched on actually is that even something like that video, which could be a misstep, when it's that bizarre, I think sometimes it can actually provide you with a talking point because people are going to go, what the hell was that? But that almost becomes like the conversation icebreaker. They start developing a relationship on the back of a misstep, and it actually allows them to almost develop a truer set of relationships with people because they're doing it from an immediate point of something and something that represents them rather than just going, hi, how are you? So
Okay, so next is Brian Finn 315, and I'm going to start. So Brian was in the season we don't talk about, and he was doing pretty well until we canceled because reasons. I've watched him play in another org hosted by a dear friend of mine called Survivor Wannabes, and he was the fourth person voted out for overplaying intensely. He was playing way too hard, way too fast, and his tribe yeeted him the fuck out of there the first chance they got. In Atlantis, he was kind of doing something similar, but like just one notch down. He was still overplaying, just turned it down a little bit. Now, I think he wants to turn it down a little bit more here. He wants to play a strong, cutthroat game, but not as aggressive and in your face as he was playing before. Because I think he realizes that's what absolutely murdered his chances the first two times he played his game. Is he going to go far? I don't know. That depends on him because, again, I've seen him in games. He's a big Frooks player. He's a very aggressive person in games. And that will bite you in the ass if you play that hard. So is he going to continue to try to play that Frooks style game? Probably, because he says he's going to change, but he hasn't proven he's going to so far. Like, actions speak louder than words, and so far he hasn't said shit. So I don't know. I'm excited to have him again because he is a big villainous player, but he's the type of villainous player that's like in for 3 or 4 episodes maybe.
see, I'm really interested to hear that he's villainous. I mean, obviously, I think it was his video where he said he tends to relate more and prefer to the villainous type characters. But I, without trying to sound too harsh about it, I found him incredibly beige. Like,
I think so.
there was nothing really of note about his video. It was so he was reasonably friendly. He came across reasonably well. He sort of everything was that middle level where nothing was extraordinary, nothing was of note either positively or negatively, and I kind of feel that that kind of level of monotony almost, it tends to be detrimental in games. It will usually get you through the first couple of rounds, but then you're less likely to have built any real kind of relationship. Now, I'm basing this entirely off the video, which is why I'm saying I'm really interested to hear Julian's perspective as somebody who's hosted him. Like that's not what came across at all to me. I'm still gonna make my assessment based on what I've seen, just because, like, I don't think it's fair for me to necessarily just jump on somebody else's observations. And my feeling was that he would probably be a fairly early boot. I don't think he'd be one of the first couple, but maybe fourth, fifth boot, something like that.
See, it's interesting to hear Julian's assessment about how he's played in previous games than Z's take on his video, because my take on his video is completely different. Like, the thing that I focus on is when he said that he really associates himself with like the underdogs and always finds himself in like the minority. And so to me, it seemed like he isn't going to try to be a villain, and he's going to kind of try to have like a slow pre-merge and then ramp it up as it goes. To which, I mean, I think there's, out of most people on the cast, I think Brian is like the one who like either could disappoint a lot of us or surprise a lot of us. So like where I think he can go, it could be third boot, or it could be like finals. There's a very wide range there, and so time will tell. But I think out of most of the newbies, he's the one that I'm most excited to watch.
I didn't know there was a fucking Brian in this game until we started doing this. They're just so obscure to me. Like, there's nothing interesting about them that draws me to them as a character. Like what Z said, if you're a monotone person, people are just gonna be like, yeah, yeet, and just jump over you. I'm not thinking that they're gonna do great, because I think they're just gonna be a human, not a character, not someone who's gonna be building social bonds, not someone that's gonna be negative. They're just gonna kind of like be there. And I didn't think I could say that about Survivor plays, but somehow I feel like this one is just gonna sit there and exist and then leave, and we're gonna forget they played the game. Like, and make merge at all.
So, like most of us, I actually don't know the dude very well. So I based most of my opinions on the video as well as y'all's opinions. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of piggybacking here. Don't at me. Just because I don't know what else to go on, but I want to add a little bit more to it. My words again, is gonna be wishful thinking. In my opinion, the type of player he is the type of player he wants to be, not necessarily the type of player he should be. I feel like in order to play the best you can, you have to come up with a game plan and a strategy that works for you. I cannot sit here and go on Survivor or play these games and try to play like Russell Hedge or try to play like these crazy things, because that's not me. It's not going to translate. It's not going to work. It's going to be trying too hard. The best strategies are the ones that come from knowing yourself, knowing what you can and can't do, and working with that and creating something that works for you, and not trying to be something because it's fun, because it's convenient, because it's like cool. Oh my God, I'm a villain. Sometimes it's better to be the hero. Like you have to the best strategies are the ones that I think come from your own and not something you're trying to portray. Like there's so many times I like watch those and I come like, that's not you. Why are you being this way? Like why are you being this person? It's because you think that's what we want. I don't want you to be like, hey guys, nah, meatball, meatball. You know who I'm talking about too. I don't want them to. I'm talking about Josh Martinez. For me, sometimes it is forced. It's forced. I love to do, but it's forced. Be yourself. If you're yourself, you'll be the best one, and you'll come across really, really well. And you can. A lot of times, it will also translate in the gameplay. But don't try to be like, I'm the villain. I have to be the villain. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, it does.
Dummy.
Oh my, okay. So, from I don't know him well either, and I had to watch his. I only watched the videos of the people I don't know. So I'm like, okay, that's all I gotta judge off of them. And I did hear him mention oh, I'm usually in the minority and I'm the underdog and everything. But then hearing that he's this come out villain, I'm like, okay, that I don't think that's going to be a good thing at all, because if you're over here telling people, hey, I'm an underdog, but you're over here being shady towards people, people are like, who the hell are you? Like, come on, who are you? So I don't know how he's gonna hold up. I really hope that he can calm down and not play too hard, because it's like so much different from like a Brooks in a group game. Like you play hard in those, and as long as pretty much like in rookies or whatever, as long as you're in a pre-made, like you're solid, like you're gonna do well. But orgs are different. You can't be playing way too hard. You can't be this huge show off as this huge mastermind like out the gate, or people are not going to that's the thing, that people are smart enough in orgs to take those type of people out. So if he comes in and he starts playing this or oh no, this cast, especially with how competitive this cast looks, that is not going to be good for him at all. I could see people. Let me see who's on his tribe. Hold up, I gotta look at the tribe again. Who this video, looking at the tribes. Okay, we're on Brian. Okay, so he's on a tribe with, especially with people like Kyle, and he needs to and Jay, he needs to calm down, because they will get rid of him.
All right, so we go from someone who there are.
So I predict if he.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I said if he's smart, I feel he's gonna be like an early merge or like early to mid merge. But if he plays dumb, he's getting pre-merge, and they're gonna poop his ass out of there.
All right, so we go from someone who there are many opinions on to someone who I'm pretty sure all of us have something to say, at least. Jesse.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Jesse, the person who found us on YouTube, genuinely was a fan, which is great, and that they get to play the game that they watched. But the thing is, this is their first experience in something like this. But I think they're going to do fine. I think they're going to be just fine. Because I think the intro video did them well. I think the way they're coming off to their tribe as well. And it doesn't hurt that Nathan and Jesse just happen to have the same condition. Like that can just help Jesse, because Nathan might be willing to just eat him on his back and run, which could help Jesse. I want Jesse to go far because I want them to have a good first experience, and I don't want them to be drawn away. My issue is I feel they don't know who is joking, like who's trolling and who's being sincere. I think that's going to be their big issue, trying reason, because they have not been able to pick up on that. I've watched them in BL. So that's my biggest concern with them. I don't think they're going to be able to pick. If they can't pick up on when people are joking, when people are telling the truth, he might get the wrong idea. He might get paranoid, and he could set him. I don't see other people taking him out. I see him taking himself out. Otherwise, he's going to go pretty damn
Um,
I want Jesse to do
I'm,
well. I
I,
really do. Sorry. Do you want to go ahead or?
I was gonna say I don't want to say too many things because on the basis of how he is in the VL, I could seriously go off on one. So I'm gonna break it down to 6 words. Try, well, kind of 4 words, but you'll get the idea. Try hard, blow hard, fail hard. First boot.
Interesting. That's what I thought about you.
I
I'm
want
ready.
just. Sorry.
Alright. So this is, I'm gonna have to explain this because you're gonna be like, what the hell, Connor, did you write? Hear me
We
out.
said this every time.
I hope y'all are Survivor fans. It'll make a lot more sense. I wrote Sandy from Token Teams because her iconic line is, "What's a pace? What's a pace? What's a pace? Walk 10 paces. What's a pace?" Jesse needs to know what a pace is. He needs to know how to pace himself. Because if he's moving too fast and trying to do all these things, I agree with Z. He's gonna blow up and be like, "Oh, bye, Jesse." He needs to learn that, like, okay, you can control things, but take it easy. Work up to it, all right? Get your momentum going, all right? Be like a bowling ball up in here. Keep it moving. But if you combust yourself too fast, if you combust yourself too fast, you're gonna like really hurt yourself, and no one's gonna trust you, and you're gonna be gone. He needs to learn from Sandy from Token Team's mistake, and he needs to know what a pace is.
I want Jesse to go far. I really do. I don't know if he's going to, though. I mean, basically the same assessment as I gave John last season applies to Jesse here. I was really appreciative that he was so positive towards the series on the YouTube comments. I'm glad that we have a rando who stumbled across the series on fucking YouTube now participating. Like, that's cool as hell.
That's wild.
And like during his interview, his energy sold the hell out of me. I got off that call with him and I was like, I need this kid in my cast. He's going to be fun, he's going to be energetic, and he's going to be passionate. But is he going to be a winner? I don't know. He gives me overplaying vibes. This is his first experience with orgs in general, not just his first one. He didn't even know what they were until he followed Deception Island. And I think he may have gotten the idea from that season, since that season was full of crackheads who played crackhead games.
Oh no.
He may have gotten an impression that might not translate well to this season. I can see Jesse overplaying, and I can see him yeeting himself off the island really fast. Kind of piggybacking off what Connor just said, he needs to pace himself. He needs to find his rhythm, and he needs to walk to that rhythm instead of sprinting off ahead of everyone else. Because if he does that, he's going to sprint straight off the edge of a cliff and fall to 20th place. I don't want that to happen because I want some content from this kid, because God, he's entertaining, but like, I don't know if I'm going to get it.
Kevin, you're going to be the reason he loses. It's your fault.
Why? Because if he modeled, I was not a crackhead. If he modeled his game, that's a winning formula.
No, I don't think so. I think you shouldn't have.
Okay.
Okay. So, Jesse, okay, so I was talking about funny videos earlier. This is the second person in this cast whose video had me rolling. He is the editing and everything he did on it, he is so hilarious. And I agree with Julia. He seemed like that video alone had me dying. And I'm like, yeah, this kid's about to be very entertaining. He's about to be so fun to watch. Like, I'm so excited. And he's so sweet too, because I'll talk to him in the VL and he's like, oh, he's sweet. However, his video did tell me something, and immediately when I watched it, he gave me, and this he immediately gave me Australian Billy vibes. Immediately gave me Australian Billy vibes. Like, not in the way that he's going to play way too hard because of his energy, and that's what Billy usually does. They're so out there, and they're so loud, and they're just so large and in charge. He just gives me that energy that he's gonna go in, and he's there. And people are gonna be like, no, he needs to be out of this game because he needs to be out of this game because he's too crazy. But however, I think a benefit I could say that could work to him is if he goes around and tells people, if he actually like doesn't overplay and he actually understands the pace of stuff, if he goes around and tells the people on his tribe, hey, this is my first org, immediately whenever somebody says this is my first org, people will immediately run to you because they're going to want you as a number. They're like going to come to you and they're going to think, oh, this is your first org. You can come stick with me. I got your back. I want some of these other people out. They don't know what he's capable of. And that can work to his benefit. They don't know his game. They don't know how he plays compared to other people in this cast. Like, these people know how each other play. So I think that can be a benefit to him, but the benefit of that will only work if he does not do anything stupid too soon. That's the only thing. But I don't know. Like I said, he gives me really strong Australian Billy vibes.
Are you saying that because he's from that part of the world?
No, well, he reminds me, the Australian factor kind of plays a part, but also the other fact that the both of them, they are so energetic and they are both so passionate about the orgs that they play. It's just that Billy always, when he joined, whenever I've ever seen him in an org, he never goes far. The farthest I've seen him make it is like early merge, and that's because he comes in and he starts being crazy, loud, energetic, and entertaining. He's more focused on wanting to be the show, that he does not pace himself at all, and people usually do not like that. And Jesse kind of gives me a similar situation. He's going to come in and he's going to do that same exact thing. Their personalities are so similar to me.
I mean, I think he'll be fine. I don't know. He seems like a nice person, and I guess what Julian just said, he just made his first alliance chat.
That's calling right now, actually.
I'm calling right now.
But
I just want to say, I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm just going to say who's in this. This has Brian, Caleb. This looks like it's the noobs.
Oh my God, we're gonna see Rocks week 1.
He made an alliance chat with the noobs. Jesse's dead. Jesse just got first move, guys. We're listening right now.
What kind of idiot would make a chat in the first day?
Yeah, who does that?
Brian!
Who makes an alliance chat on day 1, purposefully excluding a certain group of people? Who even does that?
Question.
On their first day, in their first org.
Oh, no.
Connor's asking a question.
I'm muting myself. I'm turning this down. I am going on that call for a moment.
All 5?
Yeah, he said it seemed like it was all 5 of the newbies.
Yes, it's all 5 of the newbies.
Oh, God.
And we saw how well that worked last season, didn't we?
Is he on the same tribe as Nathan?
Yep.
Yes.
And Kyle.
See, okay. Yeah, so I don't know, because I mean, I think I'm gonna have to save it for the Nathan segment of the cast assessment. But honestly, I mean, yeah, of course, it's not a good idea to have a alliance chat week 1, but really, it didn't hurt Z's game really at all. He had 2 votes,
And also making it worse.
And he would have had 0.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. He seems likable enough to where I don't think it'll get him in trouble. Especially with knowing the twist, it might cause more loyalty with your group. In that, like,
See, I agree 100%.
Like, And I don't know. I feel like the returnees are more likely to flip than one of the newbies. Because especially with some returnees, you're gonna want to make big moves fast, and I don't think they're gonna learn from their mistakes. Honestly,
See, I genuinely disagree. I think the newbies are more likely to flip because some of the newbies with some of the past ones and will want to be with the players they deem are likely to go further.
They're literally trying to flip someone right now before the first challenge. What the fuck?
See, I mean it'll be interesting if this like fucks him. I'm gonna hope that it doesn't, because like Julian said, like I kind of want to see him do well, but obviously if it's your first org, first time playing or whatever, you could very well just overplay your hand. So yeah, we'll see. I guess he could be a first boot. I don't want to see it happen. I have other people I want to be first boot, so.
I do want to say that in any other circumstance, I would be agreeing with all of you that this is a mistake. However, with this twist, I do feel like this could work, just because I feel like the people that are going to be added into that will be like, you know what, like, at least this somewhat makes sense, right? I'm not saying the flipping thing already is the best thing ever. However, I do think them getting together, I think is a good thing, and I don't think it's the biggest mistake.
Yeah, I think the first vote's going to Rocks. I'll be the first one to say it. I think it's gonna happen.
Keaton has a look on his face, everybody.
This is fucking nuts. They're planning out the entire pre-merge right now. What the fuck?
See, if the returnees get a whiff of that and none of them are willing to flip and they go to tribal, they're going to Rocks.
I mean, Kyle's on this call, so it's gonna get work. Kyle's on this call right now. It's getting work.
Here's my question.
Oh God.
Is it just Jesse Keith? Is it just Jesse? Oh, I don't know if I can talk. I don't know what he's doing.
Are you saying is it just Jesse pushing it, or is it the other newbies?
Is it just
They're all
Jesse?
in agreement. They're all in agreement. It sounds like.
Oh
It's gonna be a nightmare.
It's Brian, Arthur. It's Brian, Arthur, and Jesse.
Oh my God.
This is a fucking mess. Welcome to past and present.
Has everyone gotten to speak on Jesse? Because next up is someone I know that someone wants to talk about.
Real fast. I just want to have an announcement real fast. Hey, Julian, it finally came.
Nice.
Yes.
Literally.
Oh, yes. Oh my God.
Oh my-
Yes, sir. Okay, so Arthur. Kevin, go ahead.
Let me get my word.
Dude, I don't fucking understand why you would do that intro video. Why the fuck would you play a character? It's so stupid. If he was in Deception Island, I wouldn't care if he was the most loyal person. I would vote him out day one. I genuinely hope he's just doing that for show, and then in the game he acts differently. But if Julian's telling me that that's his actual plan, then you know what? When Past and Present 2 starts, he'll be a person that might be able to come back, because he's going pre-merge 100%. If he continues this and he doesn't go in his first tribal, then I will be shocked. Just worst video I've ever seen. Not even a good Joker impression. Just if he was trying to go for Joker, the only part of Joker he got was his intro video in character is a joke, and just like his chances are in this game.
My word is here and ready. My word is quarantined. Because even after this coronavirus, keep this bitch inside. I don't want to have to mess with him. I'm worried for my own safety. He's going to do some crazy crap. He's just like a serial killer or something. I'm not messing with it. Keep him inside.
I wondered how long it'd be until Connor spelt one of his words wrong.
No, I did not spell it wrong. I looked it up too. I did not spell it wrong.
You are talking to the countdown champion of champions. You probably spelled it wrong. Oh, you did spell it wrong.
Ow! I googled it.
You
too.
missed the N before the T.
Oh.
Look,
Anyway,
if Z says you spelled it wrong, you probably spelled it wrong.
I just hopped on that call, and oh my god, they're actually doing it. They're actually doing all of the things Keaton just said they were.
Rocks.
I never.
Rocks.
I was I lying.
They're
to
going.
you?
They're gonna go to Rock's Tribal 1. It's gonna happen.
Welcome to fucking past and present, y'all.
Oh my god.
So I'm gonna break my own rules here for a second. I'm not gonna talk about Arthur. Period. I'm gonna talk about Jeremy. Jeremy is a good player. He's been around for fucking ages, and he knows how to play the game. Arthur, on the other hand, concerns me. What Jeremy needs to do, and he's already brought this up in the production chat, is Jeremy needs to just drop Arthur, period, end that. Play as Jeremy. Because if you play this game as Arthur, you're going to lose. You're going to go home. Like in the first tribal or the second tribal, you're going to go home. But if you drop the act and you play as Jeremy, I can honestly see you winning this game. Jeremy, not Arthur, Jeremy is a very good player. He's been around for ages and he's won a lot of group games. And he's done pretty well in order what I've seen. But I don't know. I mean, he's told me he plans on keeping this character up, and I do think that spells certain doom for him in this game. So, odds are right now he's fucking himself just by playing the character.
I mean, he's also perfectly fine with the he's like trying to figure out exactly how the newbies can get through this alive. Like he's like backing up Jesse hardcore.
But is he doing it in the Joker voice?
No, being a real person.
Okay.
Can
you imagine?
Okay, because if he's like dropping the voice and all that shit, then I will take back the vast majority of the things I said.
He's just talking right now. Like there was no
yeah.
voice.
But with the voice.
But even with that, I'm sorry, but it's hard for me to like look at this person and say, yeah, I think they can win. When they have to ask the question, so what's the rule on transcribed communication? Because they asked that question, and they tried talking to someone on the other tribe already.
Oh, I'm screaming at them.
Oh my god,
see,
I would first boot their ass so fast.
I mean, I don't have anything to go on other than the video. Kevin has covered most things, so I'm just going to make one additional point, which is, how do you aim to do an impersonation of the Joker and end up as the love child of Yoda and Carol Channing?
I'm just picturing Carol Channing as the Joker. It's so bad. It's so bad.
Oh god.
It's
well.
Rest in peace.
My opinion is that I love the Batman theme idea because Batman's iconic. But I watched the video. I never heard of this kid before. And Julian, and I had to look back, and this is the one Julian said this was the old school group gamer. So I watched the video, and I'm like, okay, this guy's going to be, he's going to come off so strategic. He's going to come off, he's going to come off like, he's going to come in and do this since he's the old school group gamer. But then after I watched this video, I'm like, what in the absolute fucking hell what did I just watch? Because to me, it sounds like you already got your parchments ready that already has your name down. That's what it sounds like to me. So and he's on the tribe with Jesse over here making these chats and everything. Yeah, if I'm telling you, if the vets find out about it, not only Jesse is not gonna recover from it, of course, but if he does not play smart and he keeps rubbing and people still don't like this video and they're like, what in the world? He's not going far in this game. I think already. I don't feel he's going far. And who is this Jeremy? Is that like does he have like an alternate persona?
Jeremy is his real name.
Oh, okay. Jeremy's his real name. So why in Arthur? So he's playing as Jeremy and Arthur.
And like that's the thing, like what you brought up earlier, he is an old school group gamer. He has been around for ages. I was genuinely excited to host him. I had his production chat set up with his name Jeremy, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Yo, I'm gonna play as Arthur, this fucking character," and the smile just drops right off my face.
Oh God, what is he
I do
doing?
want to say, like,
Okay,
this
if he's
dude,
trying to. Oh, go ahead, Connor.
if this dude can't strategically make an intro video that comes across good, how do we have any faith he can do anything of strategic value in the game? If you can't even make an intro video that doesn't come across like you're gonna eat me, how in the world are you?
He's lasting longer than Jesse. I'm changing my thought on Jesse. He's getting first boot. He's digging himself a hole.
And
Right
again,
now.
I will say one thing to his benefit. He is one of 3 people in this game not going by their real name. So that
Lakita doesn't count as a person, so it's fine.
How is that a benefit?
I don't know.
If I choose to go by Charles, they're still gonna boot my ass anyways. They're not gonna be like, well, I was gonna boot you, but your name's Charles,
Okay,
you know.
okay, Charles Stofers.
I'm just like, what? I don't see the point. Call me Pony Boy. It's like, what the?
Is that everyone for Arthur? Have we gotten all of our feelings out towards him?
Wait, I still have something to say. Honestly, if you thought, maybe the only way I can see why someone would do something like this is because he wants to come off as very dumb and he wants to come off as very just like people won't take him seriously. And then it's kind of like if people won't take him seriously, people are gonna be like, oh, he's just this whatever, this Looney Tune or whatever the hell he is. They're not going to take him seriously. And then when they keep thinking that he's going to come and take, okay, I'm not Arthur, I'm going to be Jeremy. He's going to bring Jeremy out and he's going to freaking massacre all of them. And they're not going to see it coming.
Literally.
That is the only logical reason for why I can see why he's doing this right now.
I do want to say one thing. What's up, Keaton?
I'm just signaling him stabbing everyone.
Yeah, I was going to
say
say master isn't a good word to do when someone's playing a character based on the Joker.
Yeah, wait, one last thing. This is it.
I want to say one thing. I think we're missing one key aspect here. There's one person for sure he's going to get along with. If he's playing a character, he's going to get along with Ninja. Ninja plays a bunch of characters. That's what he does. He's a role player. I mean, I played Ninja with him phase. Nikita, Angel, Taquito, I don't know. Whatever. He's not
I think Connor actually brings up a good point. I think Connor brings up a legitimate point that since they do, like, Nikita always plays characters. Jeremy playing Arthur is playing a character. I think Connor has a point there. If they end up talking to each other, I think they could get along very well.
It'll be strange, but I think it could work.
That's your final 2 right there.
Oh my god.
No.
Okay, so next we're gonna move on to Nick Blue Jay.
I love Nick so much. Oh my god. Back in the group game days, him and I would always work together hardcore. He was always mental, but I loved him. It's been so long since I've heard about him, but all of a sudden he comes back and he flies. Like, I am so happy to see him here. I think he's gonna do really well. Like, honestly, he's just got this chill vibe about him right now. We called him. I think he was our longest intro. I mean, our longest interview ever. Am I correct on that? Pretty sure it was Nick.
Wait, who the fuck is this guy?
Jules. But that dude likes the talk, which could very well be an asset. I am so excited to see him play. He's personally someone I would love to see him win, just because saying that he won a game would be insane because he shouldn't. But I'd love to see him win. I love him as a person, love him as a game player. I'm excited to watch him play this game.
So one thing, because I obviously there's still quite a few people I don't really know. One thing that I took away from his video is that obviously he comes across pretty nice and likable, but his own words, he said that like when some things don't go his way, he will blow up, and that's usually not a good thing in games. Like, so if his tribe starts off by going to a couple tribals or something, he might find himself in trouble if he gets into a fight. But other than that, like, he seems pretty likable. So if things go his way, he could probably go far.
I mean, as someone who has been attempting to perfect the art of strategically blowing up your own game when it suits you, like I kind of felt that he maybe had. He is one that I have had some dealings with. Like, I think I've played a couple of, not like group games, but the normal 10-gauge games, like either some rookies or a couple of survivors with him or something along those lines. He struck me as likable. He struck me as very competitive, reasonably savvy. So going off the video, I think if something good is going to come out of the newbie, I can't say the newbie tribe, but the newbie group, I would say that I think it could well be them. I don't necessarily see them winning. I think I probably see the winner coming from the returnees, but I do think I could maybe see them sitting at the end, like if maybe like third or something. So yeah, that's what I'm going with.
Okay, I'll go real fast. This dude's a contender in my opinion. I don't know him personally, but from watching his intro video, I just see like a really good game player. Someone's gonna last a very long time, and someone that's gonna be a very big focal point in this season. I wrote the words honey butter because he's smooth. He's smooth, man. He's easy to get along with. He's easy to like. I feel like he's gonna be like able to be that person that people have no issues with, but at the same time, he's gonna have that kick of that like extra, that honeyness, the extra like strategic value. Also, I can see him going very, very far because of normality, and also he seems like a great guy, and people are gonna be drawn to that, especially when you have freaking serial killers in this cast talking about like I think it's gonna work.
Nick is a very, very good player when in general. Like, I've hosted him several times now, and he never fails to go far. He's really good at the football game, and he's pretty good at the strategic game when he tries. I don't think he's the challenges, so I can't give him the triple threat title, but I do think that Nick could be a front runner in this game. Just in general, I am very excited that he applied. I never expected him to actually set foot into an org on this fucking website, but here we are. And in about a month and a half, he's probably going to be collecting his check.
Oh. Honestly, okay. I want to say this already. This is my winner prediction. 100. Like, this is my winner prediction because he is really. I played with him once, and he really knows how to talk to people. because I remember in the game that it was a group game though. Literally, me and him were talking, and I was pretty much confirmed going home. Pretty much confirmed. Oh, you're going home. You're going home. Whatever, because of the twist it is. However, he still like was reaching out to me, and he was still supporting me, and he was still there for me when I was getting upset that I was going home. He's like, "Girl, you're an icon. You play well." He was just there for me, so he knows how to talk to people. And I'm in like a group chat with him too. And he knows, like, and he is so cool. Like, I enjoy talking to him so much because like he just has a very chill vibe with him. And if he does that, and I know the kid is he's going to do so well in this game. And I think this cast, like, he's just, especially since you have so many people who are like loud and crazy in this whole entire thing, I think he's going to blend very well with it. And I can just see it. That's what I'm just feeling it out. I can just see it. And also another thing I'd say could benefit him, he actually hosts his own orgs and stuff, but he's a Discord orger. So he's probably seen many strategies, and he knows like what works and what doesn't work. And so I think that can also play a huge factor into him doing well.
Okay, so next up is Fire X.
Oh god.
So I'll start because obviously, like, I think a lot of you guys will have more to say about him because I don't really know him. I just can go off of his intro video, which, I mean, he seemed normal, but obviously, like, he has not the greatest reputation, and that might really screw him over. But that's all I'm gonna say. He seems normal, but yeah, I'm not too sure on this one.
Okay. X, the character. X is a very interesting character who likes to make hashtag big moves just because he's in the mood that day, but then can't handle them being made against him. I did have to throw him out of my group game for cheating, so I know some people are surprised that I cast him again for this, but, I'm just weird like that. Will X win this game? Probably not. Will he go far? I don't know. He's an extremely polarizing person, but it kind of seems like nowadays the people that are still defending him are fewer and fewer. Which, I mean, I'm okay with him on a personal level, but I don't like playing games with him, and I don't feel like this cast is going to be the right one for him.
I'll go. I don't know what to think of him. Like, I don't think I've met him. I only heard so much about him, but I mean, at the same time, I've never experienced him. I've heard a lot of things that, but I don't know. And he's one of the people that, like, I feel like he's such a big question mark for me that I pretend like I know what I'm talking about. Like, I just don't. I don't know anything about him. The best I can say is, like, I mean, from what I've seen, he's an enigma. He is very, very powerful, and he's very, very strategic. However, that doesn't result to a win. It just results in him making a few big moves, and then he's gone. But any season he's a part of, I always feel like he's one of those power players. But there's so many of those in reality TV that never get to the win. I do think he can persuade a lot of people. I think he's definitely a good game player, but I definitely think he's gonna become too much of a threat to take that level, and he's gonna have one mean jury speech. So I don't know. I wrote an X.
Fair enough.
I was going to let Keaton go so I could finish my cigarette.
Okay, Keaton.
We're on X. Yeah, I'm literally not paying attention. We're on X.
We are on X.
Yes.
Okay. I am scared for X because they can eat. They're gonna do dumb things. I just don't know the amount of dumb things. I'm not quite sure what the fuck they're gonna do. I'm excited to see them play, but I'm just worried that they're gonna do something that's gonna hurt their game without them even realizing it. Because I think they're just gonna try and get themselves into a power position, and then people are gonna. I think they're gonna try and be the leader and get killed for it.
I can kind of see that. I mean, I will say that I am one of the few remaining members of the X Appreciation Society. I've played with him. I think a lot of where his detractors come from. I do think it's a fair point to an extent that he doesn't like the moves being made against him, but he likes making them. But that said, I found that I can deal with him really well because there are two things that will drive X to start acting up, and that is either people being either aggressive or passive aggressive towards him and winding him up, at which point he gets defensive, or it's people basically kowtowing to him and making him feel that he's got a level of superiority. If you deal with X calmly but firmly, he respects it. At least that's my experience. I don't see him going massively far. I think he's either going. I think he'll go early in one of the two phases. I think either he'll come out the blocks too hard, too fast, and be an early boot, or he will survive that. But the fact that he can be a comp threat and the fact he is so outspoken would probably see him out early in the merge if he made it there. So I don't. My inclination is to think that he'll probably be early merge, but it wouldn't surprise me if he's one of the first 3 or 4 boots.
I honestly, in my eyes, I do not think I love him. Like, I love him, even though me and him have had we've gotten in so many arguments and so many fights and we've had a lot of disagreements with each other. But we still have a lot of love and respect for each other regardless. However, he has no chance in this game. I do not think he has a chance here because he just plays way too hard, and he gets when he plays really hard is in a power position, he just gets really cocky and he gets very confident, and a lot of people do not like that, and they will take him out. And I'm looking at this, he plays, and he just is so messy. Like, he's so unnecessarily messy, and that will fuck him over if anything. And the other thing I'll bring up is his temper. Is that kind of like what y'all were saying? It's okay for him to vote you out and screw you over, but when you do it to him, it's the freaking end of the world. If he has that attitude in this game, oh hell, people are like, you can just get the fuck out of here. You're going home. So I don't see how he does well in this cast, and especially on his tribe. he has Billy, who Billy absolutely hates him. Billy does not like him. And Nin, I was talking to Nin earlier on call, and Nin is very nervous about him being on that tribe. So I don't know what's gonna happen, whether X gets everyone else and picks that up, or Billy and Nin. But Billy and Nin are gonna be people he is not going to work. Like, they are not going to work with him.
Okay, so I'm very excited to see what Connor's word is for this next person. It's Angel rounding out the.
I'm going first. No, no, it's time. We're telling the fucking story. Cause
Keaton, take it away.
okay, so I'm gonna go with my perspective on this. I just woke up, which seems to be a theme with me. I just woke up from after being asleep for like 4 hours after work, and I have both Z and Connor messaging me about what I should do with my autocast, because that's the last thing that has been decided about the cast. Z is giving me decent opinions about the remaining players, and Connor is giving me Mark. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm going on call. There was a couple other people. One of them was someone on the cast. They eventually got off. It was just the four of us. We were discussing. And then somehow during all of that, Connor goes, hey, should I ask my mom to play? And then there's a bunch of discussion going on, like, can we do this? Is this allowed? It's like, it's your autocast, do what you want. I'm like, fuck it. If Connor's mom says yes, I'll fucking autocast Connor's mom. So Connor goes to ask his mom, and she says, yeah, let me think about it. Give me a little bit of time. No, you have to decide now. You don't have time to think about it. It's like, fuck it. Yeah, sure, I'll do it. And we forced her to make a Skype. She made a fucking intro video, and that ended up being my autocast, not someone who actually applied for the game, but Connor's fucking mother. Like, I am really, like, just in one sense, we have a female, which, thank fuck, we have one.
Like, were there any, besides Connor's mom, were there any girls that applied for this season? Wow.
Did.
Annette, but she
Huh?
popped out.
Yeah,
Who did?
we would have
Annette.
had Annette, but after everything that happened, Annette dropped.
Oh, wow.
But I have no idea how Angel is going to play. I think Connor will have the best idea about that, of course. I'm excited because the way it happened was the most dumb fuckery thing on the goddamn planet. And Connor made the biggest power move of the entire season, and he's not even in the fucking game.
I think it's fairly clear how Angel is going to play the game, which is that she's going to form a final two showmance with X. They're going to take it all the way to the end, and as well as the $1 million, Connor is going to end up with a new stepdad.
Oh my god.
Is the thing that we're saving? Are we saving Connor for last on this one?
Yeah, I want to say
Probably.
Connor for this.
All right, so I'll go now then. I had the honor of hosting Amanda/Angel in my group game series, Tuvalu, and I think she's probably going to play the same game here, especially based on the reactions to her intro video. She's got that southern charm going on. She's like an older lady. She's got the southern charm going on. Like, people love her already, but she will cut your fucking throat without blinking. She's a ruthless game player, and she will 100% use her charm to her advantage. She did the exact same thing in Tuvalu. She got people to give her all of this information, and then she turned around and used that same information to slit their throats. And I can see her doing the same thing here. Like, Connor was raised by a ruthless lady, but she's also a total fucking sweetheart.
Hmm. Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Z. I'll go after you.
Well, no, that was Kevin.
Oh, Kevin. Oh, sorry. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I understand my accent and the British accent. It's very close.
Sounded like Z, but go ahead. Yeah, Kevin, go ahead.
I mean, honestly, I didn't really think too much of her video. I don't know. If I didn't really see that ruthless side to her, Connor's mom, you know, I think second boot is a good spot. You know, there's a million angels in the world. No, I don't know. I don't really have too much to say about her. I found her video to be rather, I mean,
Long?
rather long. I'll admit I didn't finish it. It was a bit too long for me. But I'm interested to see her play. If someone is like someone that has that southern charm and then will rip your fucking heart out, it's always interesting to see if one, it'll work, and then if it does work, like, are they just gonna Derek their way through the entire fucking season, or basically? So we'll see. I'm interested though. You're breaking up pretty hard, Julian.
We can't make out.
Which is probably for the better.
Like, just ask Tim. Tim will 1000% back up that statement. He had to play with her, and he saw her ruthless cutthroat side come out.
I mean, she did get second place in that, so she did okay.
She did okay.
Grace.
Okay, so basically, Angel. All right. From what I'm getting, she's a sweetheart and she's ruthless. That is from what I've experienced. As playing in these, as I play in more orgs. If you show these people your sweet side, you will do anything to win this game. That is so dangerous. That is extremely dangerous, because people, if she does all that and she comes off with the sweet side, people, that's the thing, if she comes off really sweet, people are gonna be, oh, that girl's too sweet, we could keep her around as an ally for a while. But if she brings out that cutthroat side, oh, people are not going to see it coming, and there's going to be nothing they can do to recover from it. I see her doing really well. Wait, was it? I'm trying to think. Who won? Why did she get second place, and who beat her in your group?
She lost to, and I'm probably going to mess up these numbers. I think it was Java 9044. I don't really remember the exact reasoning why he got all the votes. Other than
Okay.
Was it a bitter jury?
It's a weird situation because Tim claims that every single other person besides him was bitter. But others claimed that Tim was bitter against Java. And if you just mention the word Java around Tim, he will get hysterically angry. So I'm more inclined to believe that side, but I don't know.
I was going to say, it doesn't sound like a jury if Tim's not bitter on it.
Yeah. It doesn't sound like Tim if he's not bitter.
Yeah, it doesn't. But no, another thing I will say about Angel is that me and Connor were on call earlier, and I was watching her video while I was talking to him, and she said something in there like, oh, if you cross me, I'm ready to cut you or do whatever. She said something like that. I'm like, girl, you were doing so well. Like, you were so funny. She's the other video that also had me laughing. So I'm like, oh my God, this girl is so good. But oh my God, if she hurt with her saying that no, that was not a good thing at all. And if people look at that and take that seriously, oh my. But I really hope they don't. I want her to do really well because I'm like this. When Julian first told me she was in this cast, I'm like, okay, this is my winner. I just stand this so hard. So, all right, the sun can go.
So, there's a lot of things you should know about my mom. One is that she's the sweetest lady you'll ever meet. She apparently, according to Julian, she has this ruthless side, which I'm not like disagreeing. I'm not agreeing. More so, it's like I want to see her play this before I make that decision. But I will say, like, she definitely, like, I will say that, like, I think a lot of times, like, I'm sure most people, when finding out it's my mom, are going to be like, oh, great, she's not going to be active. She's not going to care. This is just so you can say you had your mom on the season. My mom has been talking to me every single day, telling me how excited she is for this game. Like, I'm really excited to play another game. I'm really excited. I'm really excited. I'm ready. When's the casting? I'm ready to be today. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. The only reason she's quiet now, which I can only imagine she's quiet, is because she's at work. As soon as 8:30 hits and she gets on her phone, it's over. She's going to be socializing.
That's like
she's gonna
10
be all
minutes,
sorts of
yeah?
friends. She's going to be in. Let me look at the clock.
No,
That is
it's like an hour.
no. An hour. My mom is the sweetest lady on earth. She will, like, and I'm biased, of course, but I've never met anyone as nice as her. I mean, I will say, like, her intro video, she was doing her best to come across jokingly, and it was funny because I don't think some people took it as a joke. They were actually threatened for their lives, which made it all the more funny because she meant that kind of in a joking manner. She's just goofy. She's fun. My best friend. So I'm really excited for her to play this game. I will say what I've noticed from her, she's played one org before, which was on, like, Facebook side of community. We played together. She wasn't social enough and got third boot. I think she knows, like, that she needs Umber social game. She knows that was her biggest mistake last time, so I expect her to do that this time as well. I noticed that she likes to align with certain kind of players, so I can already kind of see who she might want to align with. The two in mind are, one, she's probably going to align with John, strictly because she's going to say, oh my God, it's you. Connor, he's just like you. So she likes the awkward guys, and she's going to immediately align with him because she's going to, like, adopt him as a son. I won't be surprised in, like, a year's time we're going to have John living with us for
As
some
well
reason.
as X.
The second person is actually X too, not for romantic reasons, but I think she will recognize that I think he's going to do a good job at talking to her and kind of smoothing things with her to work with her. She's going to recognize that following X is going to be a really good thing. At least she's going to think it's going to be a good thing to get her further. And the question is, how long will that last? I definitely see her reaching out to X. I mean, I'm really excited to see what she does. I love my mom with all my heart. She's my best friend. And I have to say, it was really awkward reading comments of people calling her a MILF.
You know what? I'm happy that happens just to make you uncomfortable and nothing more.
Thank you, Keaton. It's not. I wrote this for my mom. I wrote thank you.
Oh, that's so sweet. That's so sweet. Wait, hold on. I think I had another thing. I'm trying to remember what else I was going to. Oh, I think another thing that kind of could work for her is that the fact that this cast has not put together that, especially Connor's friend, closest, even Connor's best friend, Jay, has no idea that this is his mom here. So I think if
I don't think he's been able to watch the videos.
Oh.
I think if he
Tarantula Island.
I think if people don't connect the dots that they're related, then she can definitely, that's going to be something that is going to definitely get her further.
I don't know. We can talk about this more when we get to Jay, but I kind of got Jay out in our season, even though he's my best friend. I kind of was the reason he got sent home. I would never put it past Jay to repay me and give me back by voting on my mom. I could definitely see him just doing that to be petty, but we'll see.
Even, and it was funny too, because I was talking about Connor, your mom is my winner, and then was like, wait, what? And I said, and we were like, and I was like, huh? And then Connor messaged me and tell me like he didn't know, and I'm like, oh, okay. And even after I said it, Nin still did not know what I was talking about.
I'm leaving it to people to like discover that information. I'm not gonna be like, hey guys, guess what? It's up to them to discover like if they figure it out. Which, to be fair, knowing me, if they know me well, it's gonna be hard to figure out because she literally said, I'm from North Carolina, lived in Texas for a year, now live in Minnesota. Anyone that knows me knows, okay, what part of Connor's family is she?
But Connor.
But I'm excited. I know she's excited, and I hope she makes herself happy and makes herself proud because she definitely plays these games to do well, and I think she's gonna try her best. I have faith that she will provide her best, and I'm curious to see what her best will bring. So I'm excited. Love you, Mama.
But Connor, the real question is, what is your word for your mother?
What?
The real question is, what is your word for your mother?
He already said
My
it.
word.
Thank you.
It's thank you.
Oh, my word?
Oh, okay.
Great. Jesse just broke the fucking rules.
I missed that. Yeehaw.
What did you do?
He screenshotted a small part of conversation between himself and Nathan. God fucking damn it.
Okay, did y'all specify the rules to him ahead of time to see
I
the
made a
rules?
video specifying the rules. At that point, it's up to them.
Dude, is he gonna fuck Nathan's game now?
Probably, but it wasn't that bad. But I don't think it's like the first day, and he's not done this before, so we can call some slack.
The question is, can he like learn that he's not supposed to, or will continue doing it? I think once he's like,
We did it in the Lions chat, so like, I hate Kyle. Anyway, sorry.
Okay, so on to the flops. And the first one is B Vance.
When you hear B Vance's name, you do the Billy Vance dance.
See, I'm just an asshole who wants this. I want to see him get 13th in particular for one very obvious reason. I just want to see him get 13th. That would be my dream because then you get fucking revenge. That piece of shit.
Surely you want him to get
I'm guessing Taze.
16th.
No. I want him to get the exact same place.
Well, if you want the exact same placement, it would have been 14th.
Is that when I
There were
went?
17 in the cast, and you went week 4.
Oh, then yeah. Then what? That wasn't my end placements. I don't care.
Spoilers.
But no, I think Billy is going to do actually okay. I think he learned from his past mistakes. I want him to do well, and I think he's going to. He's going to have a harder time because if manpower gets out and people look at 4 people on the other side, that could hurt him. But I think he has the ability to make these social connections. I think he doesn't do good at Survivor. He's much better in a Big Brother setting, but he can socialize, and he likes to be true to himself to other people. That could be very good, especially with this group of people, especially that he's on, quote, the crackhead tribe. I think he could do okay. Part because, it's Billy, but I don't know how much faith I have in Billy actually doing it. He could die. And if he gets 14th, yeehaw!
I think something that like you're not taking into account with Billy is like this is a really good cast for Billy for the most part. He definitely has a lot of avenues, and I think I think if Billy makes it to merge with a few people still left in the game, it could very well be over. Now the
Well,
question
generally
is,
there are a few people left in the game at merge. That's kind of how
well,
the
but
game
I
works.
mean with like, I think the few people that would be absolutely like loyal to him, basically. And so we'll have to see. But I mean, I really like Billy. Billy's a good player. He's strategic. Little game body, and I mean he'll admit that. But yeah, I think he'll probably do pretty damn well. Which newbies, or sorry, which returnees are on his tribe?
I can check that for you.
Yeah.
I know Nikita's one of them.
Yeah, I know John is
I was
one.
talking about it earlier.
Okay, so here we go. So
John,
he's got
Logan.
John, he's got Hooper, he's got Nikita, and he's got Pietro.
Billy isn't going anywhere until at least the swap.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I think out of most of the returnees, I'm near, like he's near the top of my list on who I think has the best chance on doing very well.
I mean, to help his case, someone in his tribe has the name Josh, king of being a Canadian LBK winner. So I mean,
unless like the whole manpower thing really fucks him over, but I don't think that's gonna be that much of a factor. Manpower.
I think the thing with Billy, and like he'd probably admit this himself, is that he seems to be the complete opposite to me, which is that I prefer playing Big Brother, but I'm better at Survivor. He is better at Big Brother, but he prefers playing Survivor. I do think that what people are saying about this cast working fairly well for him is probably true. I can see him getting into the merge. I can even see him getting a reasonable way into the merge, potentially. But I definitely don't see him winning. I think the problem is that he, as much as he tries to accuse me of being a game bot, he really is a game bot. And when he tries to deviate from that, he usually screws his game up because he's one of those people who occasionally goes. In fact, his video even said it, that he was going to try and play a different way this time. It doesn't work for him to play a different way. He has one speed, and that is game bot. And when it works for him, he goes deep. And when it doesn't work for him, it goes wrong, but not as hard as it will go wrong when he tries to do something that he's not. So I don't know, maybe like low single digits, like 8th, 9th, somewhere around there is where I can see him getting to.
He kind of summed up everything I wanted to say about Billy in one sentence. He has one speed, and that's GameBot. I don't even know where to go besides that. Like, Billy is just a GameBot, but like the less successful of the LKB trio that have played the series so far. Like, how can you sit there and be compared to fucking Livingston of all people? That has to hurt. So like, I feel like Billy just wants to prove that he's like better than Livingston, which in any other series wouldn't be that tall of an order. But in here, like, he actually has to prove himself now because Livingston kind of killed it last season. I haven't even talked about Billy.
Oh my god.
Besides saying he's a game bot. Wow. I think he's gonna do okay. Yeah.
I'm in the same boat. Okay, so I got to be honest. The word I wrote for him is nothing because he bores me. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Okay, I feel like I've never seen someone, and correct me if I'm wrong, and we can debate this. I've never seen someone who is completely boring able to win a game like this. Like I'll challenge anyone on that. Like Kevin, so many people, because you have an ounce of likability. He got none of that. Like I don't like
Kevin. Don't get excited.
It's just like it's
Billy
just
is
like
very
We can't
like
hear you, Kevin.
Oh, okay, I didn't realize that actually mutes it. I fully disagree. Likable guy. If like I mean, pretty much from the very moment that I started talking to him on call, immediately liked the dude. And
I'm not saying
like,
he's unlikable. I'm just saying like I feel like after speaking to him, you don't your mood doesn't or your opinion of him doesn't change one way or the other. It's just like and it's not a bad thing. I mean, I'm not judging him as a person. What I will say is, I don't think he can win. I'm not saying I don't think he could ever win. I definitely think he does some more soul searching. He finds himself what works for him. I think he goes back to the well and tries more things in the future. I definitely see him winning a game. But I think the player he is now, I don't see him winning a game right now. I think he needs to like tune his craft and like a fine wine, he needs to grow a little bit.
He has won group games.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'm not really counting group games. I'm counting games
Yeah.
like orgs. Yeah, but I mean, I get
Won the
yeah.
game against Livingston.
But I will say, like the group game, it's like you could like that like tons of boring people win group games, right? Because like no, you don't really need personality to do well because you don't show your really personality anyway for the most part. Like for the most part in group games, I guess. I mean, that controversial statement, maybe. I feel like in orgs there's a certain element of a people aspect. I don't feel like he's there yet. I feel like he will be there one day, and when he's there, he's gonna be really good, and he's gonna be a big threat, and he's gonna be a great game player. I don't think he's there right now.
I mean, obviously I'm hosting him in Taze at the moment, and I would say that he's still been game botty, like on a strategic level, but on a social level, he's not been boring at all. Like he's really well liked within the cast.
I might be
So-
getting him and someone else mixed up.
then the question is will Billy get a better placement than Livingston?
No, I think he'll get close, but I think he'll fall just short.
If that's his goal, then I think that's gonna affect his placement.
Oh no, that's
But, like,
definitely not his
if your
goal.
goal,
I was just lumping him in because they're hosts together.
Mhm.
Billy cried when Livingston was on the block with him.
That's cool.
Bad
So
week.
Billy, you guys are like saying I haven't played with him enough. I never get a chance to play with him because whenever we're in a game together, he always gets booed. Mementos, and that's what happened in Surviving 1984. He got booted early, but I will say, I did play a group game with him once, and he is extremely loyal. And he was really loyal to me, and he tried helping me out and everything. And I ended up leaving because of it. But I will say this about Billy: like the game bot thing, I can see definitely. But another thing I want to say that I think could hurt his game is that when he makes some of his decisions, sometimes they can get really they can be really personal decisions. Kind of like, for example, literally he went after Maddie and he went home in Surviving 1984 because he went after Maddie and Julian for quitting LKB. Like, I'm sorry, what does LKB have to do with Surviving 1984? That's a completely different game, and also was a different type of games. That's a group. Why are you going after them for quitting your group game? That is, I think that's a very stupid reason to go after someone. And I could just see it because the fact that he has X on his tribe who he hates, like lows. So I could see him getting personal and trying to go after X because of their history. And also he has a disliking for Chris, who is on the other tribe, and say and they're both fraternities, say they both make the swap, then him and Chris are gonna be back together, and I feel he would go after Chris because Chris got me out in Memento. It's like Chris is the reason I went home, so I want him out. I just don't see him like connecting with people and making up with people. If he does, that will be great. Like that would be really good for his game. But I just don't see it. Honestly, I think he's gonna. If he does that, he's gonna get another.
Well, he did say in his intro that he's coming into this season, and I quote, very bitter.
Yeah, that is my fear with him, is that he's gonna, this person got me out of this, so I'm gonna go after them. I hate X, so let's go after him. Kind of like what he did with Maddie and Julian for quitting OKB.
I asked him about it, and he
I think
that's why he targeted us.
What?
Has everyone talked about Billy?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
My mic did big stupid. Please let me talk.
Go ahead.
I was going to comment on what Z said, and then my mic decided, you know what, you don't fucking exist. The game body ness of him does come to an extent in these games, but he is genuine as a person in games, and that's gonna help him a lot, I think, because he's gonna make real connection with people. Like I can speak from that because him and I were on opposite sides in case, but we looked at each other and said, I can respect you as a person and I have in games. Because most people are like, fuck you, opposite side, suck my dog. But we weren't like that. And it was because of the way that he went about it. So I think he has a real chance of being able to go far just because he's going to be a real person to everyone. And that can make people trust him when he doesn't trust them. Because he will stab you in the back because it's a game, and he's going to do what's best for his game.
Okay,
Now he's done.
Okay, I really think it's funny that the randomizer put these two people next to each other. I swear to God, it was just randomized, the order. So next up is Nathan Mate Dog.
Okay. So like, there's gonna be a fight between Jesse and Nathan, who are going to be essentially the leader of their sides on their tribe. I'm waiting for that because that's what's happening right now. They're kind of arguing with each other. And they're both like, "What the fuck? Why are you making alliances day one? Why aren't you making alliances day one?" They're not seeing eye to eye at all. And I think Nathan's going to be the aggressor because Nathan's always the aggressor. This is gonna, like, we're watching it unfold. Nathan, when they will try to control, they want to be in control. Nathan loves control in games. Because he wants to be able to call the shots, and I don't know if that's gonna work. I really don't. Especially with Jesse, who's trying to call the shots on the other side. It's going to be two people holding machine guns at each other, and we're going to see whose fires fast.
I mean, I'm not going to say too much. I'm pissed with Nathan. So I'm just going to say that from what I've seen, he only has one game speed. He doesn't really seem to learn much from game to game, and therefore I can't really see him doing much different this game to last time. The twist might help him get fractionally further, but he's pretty much.
I can go now. So I feel like a lot of people know my opinion on Mate Dog. And I have not really had a lot of social contact with him recently. We never talk. It's not like we don't want to talk. We just don't talk a lot. but purely from looking at it from a distance, if you watch the last cast assessment I did, which was really with Trinity, which honestly was like a few months ago, I talked a lot about how like not a huge fan of him, but I feel like I'm starting to respect him more because at least from the Nathan I saw like in the past, or I definitely think he's changing. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but I'm gonna give him credit because I definitely think I feel like Nathan handled his elimination really well last time, where I don't think old Nathan would have handled it as well. And the reason, and so I put on my board wrench dressing because there was a long period of time where I was not a fan of wrench dressing, and then I went to Outback and I got back into wrench dressing. So I'm kind of coming around on Nathan, and I hope that I can stay and nothing can affect that, and that I have no reason to. So Nate, why do I keep saying Nate? So, Nathan, be nice to my mama.
Starting to wonder whether this is a cast assessment for Connor or a shopping list.
It's gonna change in a
Pineapple pizza, oatmeal, honey butter,
I'm a little bit hungry.
And corn.
and now ranch dressing.
Okay, Nathan. So, Nate, from my history of watching, like I've seen him in a game before, and him a lot, and I know like Kevin and Nick were talking to him about it. He is a very aggressive person, like really aggressive, and he's gonna get. I just think in this game he's gonna meet the same fate he did last season. He's just gonna get way too in his head, and it is not going to go well for him. And I think he has Jay on his tribe, right?
Wait. Yes. Sorry.
Yeah, from what I remember, from what I know is that him and Jay, unless they forgave each other or something, Jay does not like him. So not only does Jesse have the newbies all in one corner, but Jay also is not a fan of him. So I don't see him going far. Like I love him a lot, but I just don't see it. He's too aggressive, and he just takes charge way too much when he doesn't need to.
So I guess I'll go. Quick question for Julian and Keaton. How involved is Jake in that newbie chat? Jake, the guy who's in the same fraternity as Nathan.
They're not on the same tribe.
They're not?
They're on the same
No.
track. They're both fraternities.
Oh, okay. Sorry. For some reason, I thought Jake was not a returning. Okay.
We have Jake, so I'm going to say one thing. He messaged me. He thought I was a player. That's it.
Okay. So obviously, a lot of the time, because, the one thing about Nathan is when Nathan knows that he's about to be playing a game, everyone knows that Nathan is going to be playing. So for the past, like, what feels like 2 or so weeks, it's been like me, Nick, and Livingston basically like coaching up Nathan on how not to play like Nathan. And basically trying to get him to do exactly the opposite of what he does. And I mean, honestly, with being in his prod chat, I'm not going to say too much, but it at least seems like we've gotten through a little bit to where he genuinely wants to really do it. And hopefully he listens and he does it. This Jesse thing is going to be a very big test on whether Nathan actually follows our advice. Also, if there's anyone in the entire game that benefits from manpower actually being a thing, it's 100% Nathan. Because if it actually ends up being a thing, Nathan with pieces will be pretty good, but I don't know. I think I think Nathan, if he listens, and he kind of lets the game come to him, and more importantly, there's no reason for you to go to the other people to be like, here's Jesse's name. And it was his downfall pretty much in Trinity. It was his downfall in LKB. And I'm really hoping he listens to us, because I genuinely want to see Nathan do well, because he really likes the game and knows a lot about the game, but sometimes he's his own worst enemy. So I want to see him go far. Will he go far? I don't know. It really depends on how much he listens to what we had tried to instill in him.
He's gonna make the first travel he attends fucking fantastic.
Well,
so
yeah,
I'm ready for them.
Yeah, because they're gonna go to Rocks.
or to war.
Did I miss anything?
No.
It's me. Okay. How do I feel about Nathan in this cast? Like, yeah, he's got manpower. Yeah, he's got people, but like, Nathan is still, at the end of the day, Nathan. And Nathan can be a very polarizing person. He's not entirely the easiest person to get along with. And like, I know that Kevin mentioned that him and Nick have been coaching Nathan in his prod chat, but like, I don't know how well that's going to work. Because I just don't know if Nathan's like going to be willing to change who Nathan is as a player. Because as Blake said last time, Nathan has played the same game pretty much every single game he plays. And I wouldn't be surprised if Nathan did the same things here. And if he does the same things here, he's going to lose. Period. So Nathan needs to radically change up his game, or he's going to go home very, very early. Grace?
Grace has been.
Oh, I already went on.
Yeah, I
We
was
were
the
just
last.
waiting for you.
Yeah, I was the last non-prod.
Yeah.
Well, we are on to John then.
Connor goes first.
I'm coming. I haven't had time to write nothing down. But I do want to say, obviously, I am so excited that he's back. Love him as a person. I even loved him as a player. Like, I wish we could have saw more of him last time. There was potential. I thought he just needed to like up his game a little bit. And I'm happy that Julian sees that he gets an opportunity and he deserves an opportunity. He's one of my favorite people. I've never even spoken to him, really. But from afar, he's one of my favorite people. Like, I just love him. Love him so much. And I'm really glad that he's back. And I'm super, super pumped to see what can he do, can he improve. And I wrote for him, hashtag, want everyone to know, there's a lot of questions about me, about, well, what is Connor into? What's his sexuality? I'm just letting everyone know right now, I am hashtag Susasexual.
My God. Oh my God. Jesus.
I mean, I feel like I have to provide the antidote to that point now, which is that I'm not gonna cast aspersions about John as a person. I am sure that he is a really lovely, caring guy. But my fucking God, was he annoying. Like, I was infuriated by him pretty much the entire time he was in the game. in Deception Island. He has, I mean, just if you join a call, then decide that you're not really going to participate in the call, but you're not going to mute your mic. Instead, you're going to loudly watch a comedy program and interrupt everybody else's conversations by talking to your TV and laughing over everybody's conversation, then you are not fit for an org. At the very least, mute your damn mic. But he was too much. Like way, 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 way too much. He did kind of recognize that in his video. So maybe the too muchness was nervousness, or maybe the too muchness was him, but he's going to tone it down for the state of the game. I'd love to try and talk to him on a non-game level and just see that whether it's when tensions are heightened because you're in a competitive setting, and that's why I found him annoying. However, I'm so glad that I'm not playing this season, because if I had to play with him again and if he hadn't changed at all, then I would kill one of us. I don't I don't know which first.
Better not be John.
Okay.
Wow. Connor just said, kill yourself.
So, like,
I'm screaming.
so as far as John goes, he seems to have kind of realized what he fucked up, and he did make that pretty clear in his video, acknowledging the many, many, many places where he fucked up in Deception Island. And coming into his second season, I do think John has the most to prove out of this batch, because out of all 10 of these people, John is the one who started off on the worst possible foot with his tribe, as Z so eloquently put it
Yeah.
in so few words.
I mean, basically, there was two sides, and literally just John was the one person no one talked to.
Right. And John did absolutely nothing to help his case, because he wasn't doing any talking to people either. He sat there and waited for things to happen while also pissing people off on call. I think he's reached some level of self-awareness, or at least like realized where he went wrong and wants to fix that. So coming into this season, I honestly wouldn't be too surprised if he was able to make it decently far based on the fact that he knows how to fix his mistakes, and I do think he will be able to. Like, he says that this time around he wants to focus more on communicating with people and, like, getting himself in spot instead of waiting for things to come to him, which, in the game of Survivor, you can't wait for anything to come to you, because, spoiler alert, it won't. If you sit around and wait for things to come to you, or you wait for alliances to come to you, you're going to get voted out because everyone has left you behind. So be proactive, but don't be annoying about it. And I do think that, like, if he can hit that happy medium this time, he's going to make a run. Will he win?
If
Or not?
So as I guess I'll go next. So as another person who voted John out as early as he went out, I mean, like I do agree with Z to a bit, or like a little bit, but not to the full extent. Yes, John can be a bit too much when his personality, and I mean, it was his downfall also, but it was also like his inactivity that sides were immediately drawn, basically, and he found himself as the exposable person for both sides. But we also need to acknowledge that he was also a victim of the circumstance with the Z vote, because a lot of people, I mean, including you for a little bit, Z, and including me, a lot of people thought that John was that vote because of his reaction at Tribal. Because he did that little fake surprise thing, but I guess it was genuine surprise.
I want to interrupt you. Yeah, so we looked at John as the person who cast the fake vote,
Yes.
and not Jack, who had the most disingenuous reaction I've ever fucking seen, and he got away with it. I'm angry about that.
But like, so a lot like that was immediately like John was already not connected with people, and then after that vote, it just went like a little over the top, and there was no chance of him recovering from that. But like Julian said in his intro video, John seems to completely acknowledge the parts where he fucked up, and with like if this ends up being newbies versus returnees, basically, at least John immediately has people that like he can latch on to, and he didn't have that last season, and so we have really no idea. I absolutely do not think that John gets anywhere near his placement again. I think I don't want to go as far as saying single digits, but maybe around that like late merge, late pre-merge to like first or second. But I don't think he goes out before the swaps either.
I should point out, by the way, you used the words as another person who voted him out. I didn't vote him out. I was on Deception Island.
Which, I mean, yeah. It was John, especially in the aftermath of the season where Nathan was saying if Z had never gone, he was going to try to push Nick that vote. So you never know what would have happened if the situations were changed and maybe John just got fucked over, basically. So we'll see. But I genuinely do hope that he does significantly better. Yeah.
So for John, I'm really glad that he acknowledges what he's done wrong in his video, and I really hope that he can actually put that into action, and it can get him farther and it can give him a better chance, like what happened than what happened in Deception Island. I really hope so, because I'm one of the people. A lot of people are like, oh, this guy's. I remember seeing the comments, oh, this guy, I don't like him, whatever. And I know people on the cast were not mainly a fan of him either. I'm someone who literally his video cracked me up. I'm like, oh, this guy is so good. I love him. This guy. And then I talked to him after the season in the alumni chat. When we were on that call that one night in there, I talked to John, and he is so sweet. Like, he is a really sweet guy. So I think if he can tone down his character a bit and definitely be more sociable, he should be good, because there is a part of his personality that is just, oh my God, I love it so much. He can do it. I believe in him, but he just needs to tone it down and not get too extra.
He's not making pre-merge. Past pre-merge. I'm sorry. He's not making it past pre-merge. I'm sorry. I'm going to be real. He's going to do the same thing again. It's going to go wrong. He's going to screw himself over by being him. And that's not
second boot.
He's going to do worse. But here's the thing. I'm going to look at his tribe, and like what I want to say soundly, he gets pre-merge 100%. But then I have to look at his tribe. He's got a chance. I'm not saying it's a great one. But I think he's got a chance if someone like X or Pietro talks. Because if they start talking, people are going to look and be like, no thank you. But if they don't try early on, then John's going to go up.
Quick question for production. Have we heard anything from that tribe about like the divide between newbies and returnees?
I only got one thing so far really from them, and that's from Pietro at some point. I can read that real quick.
Pietro had like an alliance type thing that he wanted to start with Josh Sargent and Nick, and then they found out about the twist, and they're like, "Oh, we'll see. We'll see how we feel."
Has my mama said anything yet?
She posted, like,
No.
She posted like one.
She's not worried.
Yeah.
We have 27 minutes, and then it's gonna happen.
So speaking of Pietro, next is Pietro.
Next.
I'll talk. I don't really know that much about him other than he seems to play orgs that are nothing to do with Tangaged and the like as well. I get the impression that he's quite polarizing. Like, he seems to have a group of people who are a bit fanboyish about him, but also people who don't really seem to like him. I didn't really get much of a feel from his video. Like, he was another one that I'd kind of put in the beige category. So he's one of the ones that I have the least to say about, to be honest. He kind of passed me by a bit, really.
Pietro was the pre-merge king of New Beginnings, and the fact that he got pre-merged in that season is kind of shocking, because he really shouldn't have. I think he's going to be a force this season. Like, there's no Connor to murder him in his sleep with an idol in his pocket. So, I think he has a chance in this cast. Again,
And
is someone who likes to be a power player, though, and he might fuck himself, and that wouldn't surprise me either. But yeah.
So I never got the play with Pietro in my season, but we all thought that he's very good at getting the target off himself, because Connor thought he was taking out the threat at that tribal, and I also thought I was taking out the threat at my tribal in Paul, who was not the threat.
But I got the real one.
You got the real one. I got the decoy.
But that's the thing with Pietro. He did such a good job of making everyone think that Paul was the threat when it was really him.
Like, that's testament to his game, though. Like, I think out of the returnees, he's the strongest one in this series. His game should not be one that should be in this. Like, he is going to be a tour de force compared to the other players in that stance. But he won't try and hide. He's going to gun fast, and he's going to try and get himself into a position where he's going to be safe for a while. And he could do that because when you have the information, when you can work with perfect information, you can make a decent plan. I think someone like him could make it the merge with that information, but then when he gets there, he's probably just going to be like, everyone's going to be like, okay, we need the biggest threat out. Who is it? Pietro? Okay. And they're going to get
People
I can go
never seem to
next.
realize the fact that he's actually a pretty big threat.
So I agree. I think he's a huge threat, but also I don't think people are going to catch on very easily. On our cast, it took us forever to catch on. We almost didn't catch on. Like, it was tough, but we caught on, and we're lucky that we did. But who says this cast can be just as fortunate? I think Pietro is very lucky. He gives off this vibe of kind of like a lovable person. Oh, he's just Pietro. He's fun, but he's just really smart, and he's mischievous. Like, I feel like he's the same person that will do something mischievous, then go in a bush and giggle. Like, he's just really, really mischievous. But I think that makes him great. I think that makes him interesting, and I want to see how well he does. I didn't draw a word. I drew him a picture of a bullseye, and not because he has one on his back, but because if people don't realize that he is a target, they're going to be in for a rude awakening.
I'm sorry, that does not look like a bullseye. That looks like a grapefruit. or a butthole.
That looks like a wheel.
I was going to say, I'm fairly sure I've got one of those on my chair.
Yeah,
I have really no real opinions about him. I think I just put that he seems like low key. Obviously, when you're from a different country, there is a language barrier there. But for him, it doesn't seem like there's very little language barrier, which is always great. But I don't know. I don't really have too many opinions on him. His video seemed very. It was there. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to see him in game to really like draw an opinion of him, but there's definitely bigger personalities in the cast for sure.
I believe that Pietro, I feel he is going to get in the merge. I think he's going to merge because, like Kevin said, there's so many big personalities. And the thing is that I've played with Pietro before, and he knows how to lie, and he can get away with it very easily. Like, he is a huge target, and the reason he is because he is so sneaky, and he, like I said, and he just knows how to lie very well. And usually, sometimes when he does it, it usually gets pinned on other people before it gets back to him. That's what happened in the org I played with him, because he was making stuff up, and it ended up someone else going home over him. So he can, and especially if he's like in danger, he's going to lie all he can, just so that target gets off his back, and it works. It works for him. So with the cast of big personalities, I can see him like just slithering in between the big personalities. I can just see it right there. And also, Pietro, I will say Pietro is good at challenges as well, like really good at them. And he just, that's the thing, he just knows how to lie. But I only think there is a downfall I got with him, and that is, I remember in the org that I was in with him, he wasn't super active at times. Like, there were times he was like not very active, and he almost went home because of it at one point, I remember. But that's the thing, he almost went home, but he lied and got himself out of it. So I think he's going to do well.
I just think back to the New Beginnings cast assessment where we all kind of dismissed Pietro. 3 out of the 4 of us said he was going to be first boot. There is no question this time. If this cast is smart, he should be first boot. I don't see it happening. So, next up is Chris/Anastasia/C-Shiz, whatever you want to call him. Keaton seems like he's ready to say some words.
I have not seen that man in a hot minute, and boy, am I happy to see him. He's a threat. I think he's one of if not the strongest player. Yeah, I think he could easily take this game down if people allow him to. He knows how to play this game, and he's got the social ability. I think with the people here, he's got a way in and a way to get pretty far. I don't see a world in where he doesn't make merge at the very least, and at least being in a place where he's going to vote for the winner, if not be the winner himself. He's got a real good shot.
I guess I'm gonna counter that. This is the like sentence I put down after watching his video. Probably the attorney that has the best chance at going pre-merge again.
Oh,
I mean, I don't know, like the massive personalities that seem primed to fight, like from day one. I just never see it like going that well. And actually, let me check. He is on the same tribe as Billy, correct?
no.
No? God, I'm so bad at this.
It's okay. Kevin, you won by luck.
Shut the fuck up, Keaton. You're just jealous. But I don't know. Like he just seems to have such a large personality that I just don't see him going that far. And like I said, with a lot of people that like I'm talking down on, I always hope I'm wrong. There's only one person that I'm gonna talk down on that I genuinely hope I'm just still right. But yeah, I don't know. It's just someone that's prime for drama is primed to get yeeted out of the game real quick.
I think so. I haven't interacted with Chris too much. Like, again, someone who sort of I've communicated with through various social circles at some point, but in a very fly-by-night kind of way. Watching his video, my first question was, why did he feel the need to send War and fucking Peace? Because like that was way too long an intro video. Like that wasn't an intro video. That was a like really bad dating tape. But I think the thing with what I've seen as his personality, both from that and from just interacting with him generally, is I feel like the big personality thing will probably work with a reasonable enough number of people that it will probably see them get to the merge, but then I feel they're going to be the sort of person who isn't really wanted around for that long once the merge hits. I'm definitely going early merge.
He reminded me a little of like of Nick, but less social.
Is that racist?
No. What? How the fuck?
So,
God, I hate you, Keaton. Keaton, I am so glad that you have the distinction of not only not winning Taze, but getting voted out twice. Because you should have been able to be voted out 3 times.
Maybe I will. Maybe we'll play All Stars and I can get up 4 times.
So I am going to say.
I hope so.
Okay, never mind. Okay.
Sorry, I was just enjoying the idea that Keaton thinks he's coming back for All Stars.
I am.
Julian, are you going or am I?
I'll go real quick because I don't have a lot to say. So I'm basically saying the exact opposite of what Kevin said. I can see Chris winning this game. Now, he's not my official winner pick, but I can definitely see it. I've played with Chris before, and he's not someone you should underestimate. He is social as hell. He is someone who's very good at games. We played YouTube Survivor together, and you know who won that season? Fucking Chris. Granted, he was against one of the most worthless people of all time in finals, but that's entirely beside the point. Glenn.
Jenny.
And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Chris won this game. Do I think he's going to? No. Would I be surprised if he did? No.
So I think Chris is at a huge advantage here because I feel like people know what he's capable of, but at the same time, they still like him and want to work with him. And it's like, I feel like that's always what happens. People know what Chris is capable of, but they still want to work with him. He's still like, I want to work with Chris. He's cool. And once Chris gets momentum, like, it's hard to stop him. he's definitely a great game player. He's definitely a threat, and I could see him going very, very far and being a big focal point in the season. Now, I gotta be honest, I kind of ran out of words to write, so
He only knows 8 words.
I just drew some breath.
What?
Should have done that for your mother.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Okay, so Chris, I'm gonna hop on the band. I'm gonna hop on the bandwagon on Julian's side. I can see Chris doing really well because I have played an org with him, and it was 1984. And he is so sociable, and he's so sociable to where he's very likable, and people don't want to get rid of him. Like, he's really good at them. So I wouldn't be shocked to see him go as soon. I think he's beating his Mementos place. The cast at all who are gonna try and get him out. My only concern is that Billy's gonna outright gun for him. And another thing is that Caleb, earlier when I mentioned when we talked about Caleb, I'll say it again here. Caleb was like, I want to go to Final 2 with Chris. So Chris, like, and that was before they were putting their tribes, and Caleb was just talking to me and Michael about it. So Chris has already got Caleb as a number on that tribe over there. So they could do some damage together. But I can see Chris doing well.
Although keep in mind we've got this twist in play, which might fuck up a few people's initial plans.
Yep. You are so right about that.
I really hope this twist just has both tribes going the rocks.
Has everyone spoken
Because
Chris?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to move on to Jake, and I'm going to start. So Jake has been around for a long, long time in the game community, and I know not everyone is a fan. He's a very acquired taste, but when he played 3 years ago, he made quite a few mistakes, including one extremely costly mistake at the challenge. But he was also the one kind of sane person on the incredibly volatile Machi tribe, which should have been one of the worst tribes in history on paper, but wasn't, defying all expectations. So, since his stint in Trinity, Jake's actually moved on to Facebook orgs, which he regularly does pretty well in nowadays. So, now that Jake's kind of found some level of success over there, I do think that he could be able to bring that back over here and translate that into success here in Trinity. Because he knows what he did wrong, he has something to prove here, and he has that success over on Facebook. So all of this, I think, is adding up at least like single digits, if not more.
Well, I have no clue who Jake is. I'm literally just going off of the video of the returnees who I didn't know. I got the best vibe off of him. I can't really explain why, but I was watching it, I was listening to what they had to say, I was watching their manner, they seemed approachable and slightly self-deprecating and fairly calm, and also were another person who recognized their mistakes in a way that I actually felt they might learn from them, rather than just go, yeah, I made mistakes, I'm going to learn from them before doing the exact same thing. So it's strictly a gut feeling, but I'm going really deep in the game for them. I'm seeing like top 4, potentially even sitting at final tribal.
Look, I got a bad vibe from them when they thought I was playing the game. Like, and I'm immediately thinking bad of them. I mean, it's not obvious that I'm not playing the game, but at the same time, I started saying, "Don't talk to the other people." Like, what the fuck? I made it obvious.
Yeah, but you are fairly ignorable.
I mean, fuck off.
Um,
All Mexican stand off your ass.
Hmm?
I don't really know what to expect from Jake. I'm just gonna kind of look at it and be like, I don't watch the videos, so let's see what happens. I'm not gonna say anything because I don't know.
So I'm gonna agree with Z and Julian in that I don't know if I'm gonna make a winner pick, but I feel if I were to make a winner pick, it would be Jake. It was just, I mean, I don't know. It was something about his video. It was just like really, he just seemed very likable and knowledgeable. And the fact that like, I already know that at least one person, Nathan, desperately wants to work with the guy. And I think if this season, I'm really thinking this season ends up being straight up the returnees versus the newbies. And if that ends up being correct, 2 or 3 returnees that has the absolute best shot out of the group to win. Yeah, I'm very excited to see what he can do.
Okay, is Connor back or?
I'm back. Can I say something real fast? So my mom just got home, so we prepared for like that.
Oh boy. Here we go, ladies.
Although I will say she's probably headed up. She's headed up my room right now.
Angel is in the game, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, we want her to be part of the cast assessment.
Hold on. One
Come
time.
and assess yourself. Assess yourself, Angel.
Yeah. Ow. You want her part of this?
No.
Sterling's feral right now.
She's right outside my door.
He clawed the fuck out of my foot.
We're
Can't have
we're
someone
not supposed
in
to
the
let
cast.
players hear what we're saying about them.
Let me Angel. Okay, so while he's doing that, I'll give my take on Jake. So if Jake, I want to say if he's doing well, the thing about what I look at it like is Facebook orgs to me, Facebook org way more intense than engaged ones, and Facebook orgs give you more experience, and you learn so much more from them than you would from like a 10 gauge org. So if he's been doing really well in the Facebook orgs, then I wouldn't put it past me that he's going to do really well here, because there's a lot of people in this cast who have never played on Facebook and who have never been a part of that community, and they don't know how intense it really is and how just better strategically all around these people. He can definitely get these people a run for their money because he just has the more experience out of everyone in this cast.
I'm back. I shoot her away from my room. Wait, who are we on?
Jake.
Jake.
Jake. Okay. Was on the Machi tribe. He's very like mild mannered and he's very very nice and he doesn't come across anything like a good kid, which I think will work in his advantage.
Are you hungry?
My question to see is like we didn't really get a good tell of his strategic game in the season because he kind of got kind of early. He messed up a challenge. My question is, can he do something strategically and can he do well strategically? If he can, I think he's got the whole package, and I can see him going very, very far, even though I sometimes have referred to him as kind of boring. But to be fair, that could have been a comparison because of the Machi tribe, how insane it was. I'm gonna draw something real fast.
Also, while he's drawing, fuck it,
Oh.
winner pick.
Oh, what?
No.
Wait, I'm just curious.
I just drew,
Oh, what is that?
I drew some toast because he's kind of.
I was gonna say this is like not related to like the cast, but Julian, is the first challenge the music video one?
Yes.
Oh my.
As always.
That's
Okay,
always what it
cool.
is.
Yeah.
I really hope it's Nathan and Jesse's tribe going to tribal because I just want to see Rocks day one. That's like
Me too. That would be so funny.
yeah, that'd be hilarious.
So next up is our very first 3-time player somehow. I don't fucking know how, don't ask. But we have Nikita, NJ, Nimjon, the Troublemaker sensation.
Oh, the first 3-time pre-merger too? Because I'm sorry,
Okay, Varner, okay.
they're not.
What?
They're not making it. I'm sorry, they're not good.
I drew on my pillow.
Nikita's not good at Survivor. They're gonna take their own game. Their personality's gonna be abrasive. People aren't gonna like the fakeness, and Nikita's gonna go.
Though, if Nikita's track record holds up, the person that Nikita actively targets is probably going to go far. It's like, Nikita targeted Jabbar. Jabbar made finals. Nikita targeted Ned. Made finals. So, like, being
Ned won.
being targeted by Ned is a really good thing for your game.
I stick by what I said about Nikita's new outfit in the chat when I read it, which is how did they manage to look simultaneously like both the cowboy and the horse? Like, I really don't understand how that's even possible. The thing with Nikita is it will very much depend on who they're with as to whether they're viewed as a lovable eccentric or a really annoying person. I don't know exactly how that tribe dynamic is going to work. So, like, don't get me wrong, I can't see them winning the game at all. But if they can get with a majority, then I could see them kind of going pretty deep, like the sort of 5th to 7th range. But if not, they could very easily be one of the first few boots.
I'll go. It's tough because, like, I just feel like Nikita has openly stated that Survivor is not his game. That Big Brother is his game, but he wants to get better at Survivor. I mean, the thing is, it's weird because I've not seen him actively do horrible in Survivor. It just doesn't work. I think he's so used to playing Big Brother that whatever he does, it just doesn't work. It doesn't it's like fitting a square in a round hole. It doesn't work. But he's not horrible at the game. And it's weird. I feel like to a lot of people he can be viewed as gimmicky. Touche. If we're going strictly by track record, we would say late pre-jury. However, I do think that if there's going to be a game that he can do well in, it's this one. So I'm going to say top 7. Also, I didn't know what to do with my drawing board, so I just kind of drew what happened to Nin the first time he played. This is Heatherly Cameron saying she hates scarves.
Connor, there's a reason you got fucking 9.
There's also a reason I've played twice and made merge both times. Get on my level or shut up.
Player of the season of mine. Shut the fuck up, slut.
Have you played twice?
I didn't have to.
I got fifth my first time. What place did you get?
Sick.
Still good on my level.
I haven't really. I've never played with them.
Congratulations.
Been on call with them a few times, and while they're entertaining on call, I would be so against them in an actual game because it just becomes a little bit too much. Sense that they would ever take it extremely seriously. I see anywhere from, I don't think they get into the single digits. And it could be anywhere from one of the first few early merge. I don't know. It just seems like a little bit too much in a game sometimes when you're portraying like that hard of a character. Yeah, I don't know. It's
Camera
just,
pens to Arthur.
yeah.
Okay, so I played on a season with Nikita, which was Mementos, and Nikita was really messy in that game, and I believe him every time he says that Survivor is not my game, and I totally see it because I played both 1984 and Trinity with Nikita, and then Nikita had a very similar strategy in both of them. However, it just works better in Big Brother, and he just doesn't know how to adapt himself to change to a Survivor setting, and that could put him at a really huge disadvantage. And another thing I want to say is that Nikita is like really weary of X being on the same tribe as him, and he is like, he was telling me he just felt like he didn't like it, and so, and I don't think X is particularly a fan of Nikita. So that could be a huge downfall. And another thing too, I talked about how Billy likes some of his moves, he does them really personal. Well, I know Billy also is not a fan of Nikita for quitting LKB. And Billy tried to target Maddie and Julian in Surviving 1984 for quitting LKB. What if he carries that and targets Nikita for quitting?
LKB is starting to sound like a cult.
It's a mess, but I don't see Nikita going single digits. I can see him. I've seen him pre-merge again, if I'm being honest, or a really early merge, like merge boot or something. But I will say he does have good eyes. He knows he targets people that he knows are going to get far. Jabbar, Ned, and Ned won. So he's got a good eye, but he just doesn't know how to strategically get what he wants out of it.
I have thought about that actually. Like, I feel like it'd be more optimal for him to instead, as soon as he sees them as a threat, and instead of immediately targeting them at that moment, to work with them, ride further with them, and then when maybe he has more control later, to then actively try and get them out and make that move his own. I think that might be part of his problem, or something. Maybe he should try that.
Shit.
I think that's everyone who went for Nikita.
So then I guess we'll move on to Logan Hooper.
I'll start.
Next.
Me,
I legit don't remember them, and they were in my fucking season.
I can start.
Oh, were you on a tribe with them?
Yeah.
Okay, Connor, why did Logan lose the game?
We can get into that, but first I want to say that so yeah, I think Trinity was his first org, and it definitely showed because he was really oblivious to the point where I think we actively said at Tribal like he's gonna go home, and he didn't realize it, and still got blindsided. I'm like, how'd you get blindsided? We hinted hardcore that you were going, and then he got mad at me, which whatever.
Wait, no,
So I want
Trinity
to.
wasn't his first org. He played YouTube. He played on my YouTube Survivor season.
Well, that's embarrassing. But I will say, like, I'm trying to show my more exotic side, so I wrote this Icelandic word. It's I'm not sure how you said Auli. Y'all can look up what it means. But this is how I feel about him because he is an Auli because he is. That's what he is. Like, I'm sorry, not sorry. Like, it's like hopefully he gets better. And maybe it's like he's new to games, whatever. But don't be so oblivious and get mad at people when we made it obvious. Like, dude, come on now. I mean, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he can turn something out, and we'll see what happens.
So no, go on.
Okay. Okay. Well, so Owly, or however it is, means blockhead.
Okay, what does?
I'm just looking up Icelandic to English, and it means blockhead.
That's not what I meant to say.
Well, it's
Icelandic means idiot.
full simpleton blockhead.
I meant fool. That's what I
Okay.
meant. He's a fool.
Okay. Well, you know what? I think it's really great that we already have the hero of the season locked down. Well, okay, but in all seriousness, it's pretty well documented. I absolutely loathe playing with Logan. It's the most, I don't know, it's some of the most annoying gameplay I've ever seen. And like, there seems to be no strategy, no anything. Logan is perennially or like, he's always the person that like everyone, if you just suggest it, Logan will always be a free vote, a free week. And he's never going to win. He will never win this game. The closest he gets to the end, if he's viewed as so much of a GOAT that he can be brought to the end as a 0 vote finalist. But I don't see it. Pretty early. Very well could be easily the first boot. We'll see, but I think the people that are on the cast with him, I know a few of them share the same sentiment, and I don't think he's going to do well at all. And I honestly do not like the casting. I think there's probably better people to return to join the cast, but that's just my opinion.
Okay, so Kevin, I want you to eat 7 socks because we were trying to represent equally, and to be honest, NB just had a lot of good players, but that wasn't one of them, and I don't think they would ever get a chance again if it wasn't for this kind of thing. So it made sense for them to come back.
Mm.
And I don't know. I don't think they're gonna do anything flashy, but they're the biggest dark horse to me because I'm not sure what the fuck they're gonna do. They could suck, or they could surprise the fuck out of me and actually play a decent game. I don't expect that one to happen, but I'd be pleasantly surprised. I'm dyslexic. That wasn't words. I'm just gonna go eat a sock.
You're also clearly dyslexic
Ah,
in your
fuck
cast
you!
assessment.
Fuck you!
In your cast assessment, if you think that, I mean, I'm not saying that he's not a good guy, but to have any thought in your mind that Logan could win this game, everyone has a chance in this game except Logan. I think he is the absolute 0%. The only person that I think might have a worse chance, based on their intro video, is Arthur.
Wow, this is really Kevin. I'm like ringing back to what I said about you. So it looks like Logan won this game.
I mean, my draft is going to be your first 4 boots. So.
Okay.
But you're also just terrible at cast assessments.
I want to say one thing.
Okay.
I'm going to agree with Kevin here.
The first 4 boots is Jesse, Nathan, Arthur, and Nikita. There you go.
Are we still talking about Logan? Or
I agree with. I agree with Kevin. I already went, but I agree with Kevin because, like, I don't know why we need Logan because, in my opinion, Billy and Logan are already the same person.
No, I cannot disagree with you more. Like, how if Billy is a game bot, then Logan is a lame bot.
He's a bullet bot.
Like, it's Billy at least has strategy and he could be social.
I meant more as their looks. And
I mean, yeah, like,
not personality.
but in terms of gameplay, like, it's I don't know, like I always forget that he was even fucking in Taze, because like he was irrelevant the entire season, and it's not a knock on the guy himself. It's a knock on how he plays these games.
Mm-hmm. He's like the Dollar General version of Billy.
Yeah.
First of all, I before Kevin managed to find it, I tried to put Connor's Ulai into translate and just did detect the language, and apparently in Polish it means auditorium. So I'm now forever going to think of Logan as an auditorium.
He's more like a symphony of bullshit.
So I hosted him in Taze. Unfortunately, Kevin's assessment rings fairly true. He's more interested in being perceived as a good person than he is in doing anything even vaguely pertaining to strategy. He is comfortably the worst person in competitions I have ever seen. Like, I've told this story before, but it's relevant, so I'm going to do it. There was a jigsaw competition in the All Seeing Eye where Kevin himself did not do particularly well. And as I was reading out the results, I read out Kevin's time of about 6 minutes on this jigsaw, and Tim, being Tim, decided to go, "Oh, well, you tried, Kevin. Congratulations, you get the participation award." And I had to tell him that he might want to hold off on that one for a second, because after mocking Kevin, who did it in 6 minutes, I then had to read Logan's time of 18.5 minutes.
Oh my god.
He had refused to use the ghost because that was against his ethics. And he had decided to do a rotating puzzle on his phone. It got to the point where he was being shouted at by his parents because he was meant to be doing something. He was taking that long and had to go off cam, wander off, finish it whilst trying to stave off his parents, and then send me a screenshot. It is the single most hilarious but pitiful competition performance I have ever seen.
Hold on, I want to root for him now. I'm starting to get on the bandwagon.
And then
Does that resonate with you, Connor?
just as a prediction before Julian wraps this up for him, this is my prediction, and production, please, for the love of God, tell me if he does it. I want to say at some point he will either say the thing like, if he ever gets in an argument, it'll be, at least I'm the hero, or at least I will die as the hero. Just
Oh yeah,
like,
he would. I still remember one time I was in a group game with him and he got mad at me for not going to rocks for him, and he was like, I would have gone to rocks for you at any time. And I said, yeah, because you're willing to get like third boot for you're willing to get third boot in a game for other people. Me? No, I'm here to win. So if it's gonna go to tie, I'm sorry, I'm not going to rocks for you, boo. I'm not going to rocks. But Logan's not winning this game. Logan's getting pre-merged. He's just not. That's the thing, is that he just has no social skills. From what I see, no social skills whatsoever. And the thing is that when he talks, I notice in conversations that I have with him, he like will be talking about something, and then he'll come in and say, this happened in this game today. This happened in this game today, and he would just like break the conversation and start talking about himself and talking about whatever game he's in.
Actually,
He's too. That's the thing.
I tell you what could happen.
What did you say?
What could happen is if there's like a really close tense vote and people aren't sending their votes because they're dithering either way, he could start an entire series of Brant Steels outlining every single line of them and distract them to the point where they don't vote.
Oh yeah, he's gonna do so many Brant Steels. It's crazy. Like every time I go in the LKB chat, all I see is him doing a Brant.
My favorite thing is the Brants that go on during finales. it's too good.
Okay.
I want to take y'all on a journey here. I want everyone to close their eyes. Let's imagine ourselves in a world where the final two is El Hooper and Arthur.
Nope. No.
I think I got threw up in my mouth.
Thank God that there will be a third person that will win 9-0-0.
Yeah, Nikita. Nikita.
Yeah.
You see John just riding on the horse winning unanimously. I did.
Oh my God, that would be an iconic final three and would be hilarious. And also, following up the Z, Robert, and I final tribal council, that was just pathetic.
All of a sudden, there'd be a juror, there'd be a finalist more hated than fucking Z.
But it's not going to win player of the season.
Who's next?
Well, Julian still has to wrap this one up.
Julian.
Did he fall asleep?
He's waiting to see if we derail it again.
Where's this dumb bitch?
Honestly, I just don't know, man. I like Logan. Like, I do.
Julian, are you okay? You sound like you just took a nap.
No, I'm good. I like Logan. I actually agree with everyone else at this point. Like, I don't see him going all that far, but I wanted him back. He came back. Good for him. But he's probably going out early again.
It's the last thing I'll say. It is disappointing because my very first game that I ever played on here, well, with Z, was a Big Brother game, and Logan was the fucking hardest person to get out. And then playing in Taze with him, I was like, what the fuck? This is the same guy. So, like, Logan always has the ability to, like, he could do well if he just tried not to go for the hero edit all the time.
Honestly, I regret voting him out. I kind of wish I would have taken him under my wing a little bit further.
Alright, so we got 2 people left. We're going to move on to Jaber Nifty.
Yay, we're actually going to get this done before my live night. We love that.
Yeehaw.
Wait, who the fuck?
Jay.
Oh,
Jay.
okay.
Jay got fucked over pretty hard in New Beginnings by a twist,
Oh my god.
by getting flipped on by people he thought were his friends. So,
Connor.
do you feel like Jay has something to prove this time around? Now that A, that twist is gone, and B, Connor's not in it. Jay is a pretty good player normally, and I do think that this is his chance to prove that.
So the only reason that he got targeted was because people believed he had the idol and they were trying to flush it. So as long as people don't think he has an idol, I think he'll be fine. He's very good socially, and he was gonna be fine, but people were just pushing on him, and I didn't vote him that tribal.
Do you remember who had that idol?
What?
Do you remember who had that idol?
I can't hear what you're saying.
He's asking,
Asking if you remember who had the idol.
Wasn't it fucking Pietro?
It was, but everyone thought it was between Jay and Paul.
Yep. That's another thing for Pietro. He's sneaky. He's a sneaky little boy.
He's a
Sneaky.
bully.
He's a sneaky man.
But Jay was truly one of the most robbed players in the series because he shouldn't have gone where he did, and the only reason it was is because people were trying to get rid of an item rather than a player, and it just happened to fall on Jay. And I think he's going to do much better this time. He's got decent connections with a lot of people. He's very good socially. He's got a good strategic mind. He's got a good chance to win this out. There's nothing bad to say about Jay as a player. He's gonna do good. He's gonna make merge almost without a doubt in my mind.
Yeah, I definitely think he's a great player. Like honestly, and it's a shame last time that he didn't get a chance to show it. How dare those people vote him out?
You wrote his name down. You shut the fuck up.
Listen,
Because I'm a good person.
I'm not my proudest moment, and I didn't even do it because of the idol situation. I didn't care. I did it. I thought I was going home, and I wasn't. But anyways, it's kind of rewarding to me that because I was the one that cost Jay is one of the big reasons I was one of the bigger reasons Jay lost last time, and for him to come back, I feel like is very, very. I feel like he definitely deserves it. He's really, really good, and I think it's his advantage that a lot of people didn't see that side of him. We can all sit here and say, this person got out because they did this. That's why they're back on this season. This person got out because they did this. Can someone name me something that Jay did, him doing on his own, something he actively did, that was the reason he got sent home? I can't. The reason he got sent home was suspicion.
He talked to people. That's why he left. If he didn't talk to people, he would have been fine.
Literally. And it was I feel like that's going to be his big advantage because honestly, let's say that the whole situation doesn't happen, he may not be in this season because he may be an all-star. So I honestly believe that because he is a good player. He's shown he's a good player. And he had what it took to be. He had what it took to be a good player. He just kind of got unlucky. And I really hope he doesn't get unlucky this time. And I think he has what it takes. He's really, really good. I'm rooting for you, Bubby. Buddy, what the hell?
I don't want to think what happens if Jay makes it past that tribal, because I don't think I make it the merge. So I don't want to think about that.
What happens if Jay gets rocked out?
What?
What happens if Jay gets rocked out?
I laugh all the way to the bank.
I think I just have once again the intro video in what you guys are saying about him, but I had that immediate sense of I would like this person, I would like to work with this person if I played with them. It seemed social and seemed rather smart about it, and so it made me think that and after hearing this, it makes me think that if really there's anyone, because obviously All Stars is going to be coming up relatively soon, and I wouldn't be surprised if a returnee here ends up playing for a third time. And he may be near the top of my list for who could potentially play a third time legitimately, not saying like yeah, he seemed really nice. Yeah, I do really hope that he does well, and I could definitely
You
see
just
him
want to
going
figure out
far.
the fucking all-star cast before you play. Like, don't even try to hide that's what this is.
No, because I mean I'm holding true to how I think I placed in All Stars. Like
Raymond. He was royally fucked over in New Beginnings. He should have gone a lot farther than he did. I think this time, this cast seems pretty explosive as it is by itself. So I think he'll be okay. I could see him getting to merge. I really can. I don't see how he goes out early in this cast. I would be shocked if he did. He is very sociable, and he's sociable, he's strategic, and he'll do anything to find a way to get there. My only concern for him is that him and Nathan like I said, are not fans of each other, and they're on the same tribe, so I don't know exactly how that's about to work out for him.
I will say that I might be
think-
wrong. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna be like, I think if it came down to it, I think Jay would be the one making it out of it.
I will say I think they've mended
That's
their
my
bond.
husband. What did you say, Connor?
I think they've mended their bond. I don't strong as it was.
you're
Okay.
talking about
Well,
Nathan.
that's good.
Nathan and Jay. Yeah, I feel like they've at least gotten to a point where they're okay with each other, better than what they were.
Oh, that's good. But Jay is my freaking husband, and I need him to do so well in this game, or I'm going to be very sad.
That's gay.
I know.
See, I'm just going off one of my hunches. There are some of these returnees who I think will do badly because I don't think they'll learn from the mistakes they made the first time. There are some that, like, I don't know what it is, but sometimes I just look at a returning player in a game like this and I just kind of go, I don't think you're really doing anything wrong. I think you're just doomed to misfortune. And there's always a couple of people who you don't expect to go before the merge, who go before the merge. And I have some kind of weird inclination that Jay is somehow going to get fucked again. I feel like it's his destiny to not do well at Trinity. I base that on nothing other than a weird gut feeling.
Okay, psychic.
If he gets rocked out, Z is gonna look like a goddamn mastermind. Like,
I should already look like a goddamn mastermind, damn it.
You look like you lost your mind, not that you're a mastermind.
Don't
Shut up, Mini-Me.
he's nowhere near Arthur.
I'm proof.
I think
We all win.
unless you need to speak, Julian. I can't remember if you've been.
I think,
Mhm.
has everyone spoken?
yes.
Okay, so we're going to move on to the final person. Rounding
Did you touch on
us
Jay?
out tonight, we have Josh Z, Mr. Coolness.
Well, I thought Keaton might be looking to speak. However, he just seems to be doing imaginary weightlifting, so I'll leave him to that. I should say I've never spoken to Josh. I have seen him interact with people. I've seen his video. I've watched him in 1984 season 1. I'm in a weird way, I'm kind of pleased that he's last in the list. Again, educated gut feeling, Josh is my winner pick. Because I think he is the level of batshit that is relatable to people. Like it's not going to be grating on some people like a Bodhi or grating on almost everyone like an Arthur. I think the entertaining level of batshit. I think that allows you to kind of fly in the middle as a social player for quite a long time. And then I do think that when they need it and the competition ability to back it up. So I am prepared to be proven very wrong. However, I'm backing Josh for the win.
Then question to Z, just see if your thought was the same as mine in any regards. Did you see any bit of Johnny from Deception Island in Josh? Because when I was watching it, I was like, if there's one person on this cast that's going to take over a tribal council, it's gonna.
I mean, I did think the style of the video and reading things out reminded me of Johnny, because Johnny did his as he just answered OK Cupid questions for his. So like that reminded, but from what I know of Josh, he's pretty well liked, and I'm not necessarily sure that the same can be said for Johnny. I think Johnny is far more polarizing both in game and out of game. So I get it, but I don't necessarily agree to a full extent.
Yeah, it's the same as I never really know how to judge large personalities because
you don't have one.
Yeah, I'm never gonna be that type of player because that's the last thing I want in a game. Like it's just, it goes against everything I think works in games. And also, yeah, Keaton, sure, you have a big personality. Where did that get you in Taze?
You do realize that I don't play to win, bucko. I loved my time in Taze.
Got you down, boy.
But with that being said, I mean, out of like the larger personalities on the cast, definitely the one that like I liked his intro the most. Yeah, I'm very excited to see how he plays. I think he's definitely going to be one of the more entertaining, at least returnees. And I don't see a tribal that he goes to being boring. Yeah, I'm excited to watch him.
So I played with Josh in 1984 season 1, and they were underwhelming, to be frank with you. They were not someone who wanted to stand out. They're not someone who wanted to cause drama. They stood back on purpose. So I'm actually going to give an opposite take of what Kevin just did. I think they're going to be rather reserved during this game, because that's what's going to suit them in a game like this. It's going to be smarter for them to give mundane answers, and they're going to be crazy behind the scenes, because that's what works better for them. I don't think it's going to be smart for Josh to yell. I mean, maybe if their ass is on the line, we're going to see fireworks. But I don't think that it's smart to go off at every tribal. And I don't think he will. But he's very strategic. He's very intelligent as a player. And like Z said, I could see him winning this game. And probably has one of the strongest chances at the very least. I can't tell you who exactly would win this game because there's a lot of good players in this cast, and there's a couple underdogs that could take it as well. But Josh is really smart and will think of everything in the sense of how does this benefit me or how does it hurt? And that's why I'm excited to see Josh back, because he's going to be thinking a lot. He's going to be thinking about everything he does and how this affects it.
So I've played with Josh my very first org a long time ago, all the way back to T-Viver. Remember those days? Jeez. I actually really, I mean, I've loved Josh since T-Viver. Multiple reasons. Maybe partly because it'd be better for me to win, but thank you. But other than that, like, I think he's a great guy. He's always consistently been a good person. Yes, he has this big personality, but it's never, at least where I've been in, it's never been viewed in a way of distaste or a dislike. It's always, he has a big personality, but we like that. That's Josh. We like him now. You know, we like him for that. So I definitely see him as a game player. It's tough because, like, I feel like he's kind of prone to missteps. However, pure likability will sometimes get you farther than you think, and I think no one's going into this game. I think targeting Josh, disliking Josh, and having those two things is a huge factor. I could see him going all the way. However, I see him more getting sixth. I see Josh running the game to a certain degree. However, when it gets to that point of, like, when people start thinking about the jury, they're going to be like, there's no way we can send next to Josh. I love him, but if I love him, the jury loves him. There's no way. And so I see him getting, like, sixth, potentially. But I still love the dude. And I think he's great.
Okay. I think Josh, I agree. I think Josh is going to do really well in this game because he, like Keaton said, that's the thing. He can be a loud, friendly personality, and he is, because I freaking look up to him so much. But Keaton's like saying he's reserved in 1984. This just shows he knows how to lay low and sit back and let other people fight each other out, and he can sit there and do the work behind the scenes. And honestly, that is the best strategy that you can do in a Survivor game, is that, because that way you're not caught by anybody and no one's gonna have any intention on targeting you, and you're still playing a good game. So it just works in all directions, and I can see him very well doing that. I do have a lot of hope for him. I don't think he's winning because I kind of like what Connor just said. I think he's so likable that people are going to see him, and it happens to me all the time. Whenever I get far to a point, people see how my friendliness, and they're like, "Oh, the jury's going," no matter how well you play. "Oh, the jury's going to love her. She's sweet. She's kind. The jury's all gonna vote for her, so let's go ahead and take her out." I think Josh is gonna end up in a very similar fate as that. They're gonna see he's likable, and they're like, "Nope, no, he's touching nowhere near the finals." But I really hope he does well, because he just inspires me so much, and his vlogs are just so funny, and I absolutely stand him.
This is why you be an asshole in games.
Guess now it's just Julian.
My GPA in high school, I think like 1.9.
What?
Oh, Evelyn asked what my GPA in high school was.
Julian, are you there?
Julian, are you done?
Julian. He's on. If you're talking, you're on mute.
I mean, I've just been waiting for y'all. I'm excited for Josh. He got twist fucked as well. Due to a really stupid twist in Ireland, he got twist fucked right before the merge. I do think if he made the merge, he was probably set to go all the way, or at least pretty far. So this time around, I would not be surprised if he made a serious run in it, just because, like, we don't have stupid bullshit tying him down. We just have a cast of people who are hungry for the win, which, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he got blindsided or whatnot, but Never know. I ain't got a whole lot else to say, so.
I'm gonna go with some closing remarks since we're at the end of this cast. Again, I'm really happy with the group of people that we got. I think this is gonna be an entertaining season. Do I think it's gonna match Deception Island? No, it could match New Beginnings, which would be a good thing. But I'm happy for this cast though. I think this is gonna be a great group of people. They're gonna fight hard. They're gonna do dumb shit early. It's gonna be fucking fantastic to watch. I think the pre-merge is gonna be fucking hilarious. And the first tribal is gonna tell a lot about how this is gonna go. Because if it goes the rocks, the other tribe I think goes the rocks by default. And if it doesn't, all hell breaks loose.
I want it to go to rocks so bad. The first vote. That's all I want. Cause
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw it.
So are we doing winner and first boot predictions to wrap it up?
All right, thank you, everyone. We've been going for like 3 hours. And good luck to all the players.
Ooh.
Yeet!